All right, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar, and let's see what we got going here. We'll call it a pretty full house. We're going to give it a couple more minutes here and see if anyone else wants to come grab a seat. We got just a few seats left here, so we're going to do some shout outs for just a minute or two. I know I'm a few minutes late getting started here, so we'll only do shout outs for about 2 minutes, and then we'll go ahead and jump into the actual presentation here today. Presentation we're going to go over today shows you exactly how to launch this business for yourself quickly. It's a 90-day launch plan. It is something I've been using, and thousands of my clients have been using since 2014. So this exact strategy you're about to see has literally launched well over 6,000 private label brands over the past 4 years. And I've just modified it. It is even better now. It is new and improved for 2018. And this is the exact mechanics about how to actually start this business. I know if you go on YouTube, you can go on podcasts, you can go on blogs like StartupBros, and you can see tons of stories about people making millions of bucks in e-commerce, millions of bucks on Amazon. But who cares? Like, that's not going to change your life knowing that someone's making millions of bucks, right? We're going to talk today about the mechanics behind making your first dollar in this business, your 10th dollar in this business, your 100th dollar in this business. Because I think if I can get you guys to make a few sales, if I can get you guys to make $1,000, it's not going to be that hard for you to make 10,000 or 20,000 or 50,000. But that first $1,000 is the toughest. So that's what we're going to focus on exclusively here today is 5 steps to launch a successful e-commerce business in 2018, but more specifically, the mechanics behind making your first $1,000 of sales in this business and how to transition that into a sustainable cash flow generating business for yourself. Should only take about 90 days if you're doing things correctly. So that is what we're going to go over here today. I do have, at the end, we're going to do a live Q&A, and we do have some cash prizes for you guys here today as well. The way we do the cash prizes is kind of a quiz trivia sort of thing. So at random points throughout today's presentation, I'll go ahead and stop and ask you guys some trivia questions. And whoever gets those right is going to win some money. And that's what we're going to do here today. So like I said, guys, I want to do just like a minute of shout outs because I know we're 10 minutes late here. So I want to jump in and give you guys the actual value of the presentation here today. We got Peter in the house. He said, hi, Will. Hello, Peter. We got Jason. He said hello with a little smiley face. Good stuff. And we got just a packed house in general. And it is the numbers are growing. We got Asif, Becky, Carmina, Carol, tons of people here. Grace Kiddist, which is an awesome name. Mark. Max, Rusha, good stuff. Yeah, Kiddis said hello. Jason from Switzerland in the house said, where are you guys from? We are from Tampa, Florida here. A little bit warmer, but the landscape is not quite as nice. So, or the watches. Peter in the house from Leeds, United Kingdom. Welcome, buddy. We got Steven from Pennsylvania. Peter said, good to be here, buddy. Good to have you. Yeah, and thanks to everybody for joining us here today. I know a lot of you guys are probably at your job right now, and you're probably sitting there, man, another Monday, another week to put myself through. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are just ready to do something about it. You're ready to get out there, do it on your own, branch out on your own, and own what you're doing, So we're going to talk about all that. Stephen's currently driving on the highway. Good stuff. Andrew's from South Africa here. Cool. So we have a truly international crowd. Peter said, I heard you're an awesome guy. We do our best. We do our absolute best to make sure. Guys, I know you're gonna waste 2 hours with me here today. So I got to make sure that it is well worth your time. And, you walk away from here thinking, man, that Will Mitchell guy, that Steve guy, awesome group of guys. So awesome stuff, guys. We're going to start to get into it. Guys, one thing I want to offer you today, we do have exactly 42 people here right now. Anytime we have less than 50 people on a webinar, we do have time to turn this into a coaching session. So, I can go through, I can give you the whole live presentation here, but obviously I won't be able to answer questions as I'm going. So it's really up to you. We have 43 people here now. So really up to you guys. If you want to see this whole thing live, give me a quick 1 in the question box and understand that if we do the whole thing live here today, I'm obviously not going to be able to type out answers to you guys and give you guys the detail and stuff. Give me a 2 in the question box if you do want to get a coaching session out of this. If you want me to play last week's live session, I can literally just play the video, jump in and out live, and then actually do some coaching with you guys as well. Dennis said fake. So Dennis, I'm gonna assume Dennis voted for number one. Dennis, if you think this is fake, like what the hell are you doing here, man? Get off. Ray said one. Steven said 1 and 2. Steven, one vote per person. This man's breaking the system. Carol said hello. Good stuff. Dennis jumped off. Exactly what we wanted. Carmina said 1. Ray said 2. Yeah, guys, really, it's up to you. So what we're doing right now, guys, give me a quick 1 in the question box if you want to get this whole presentation live, but understand that I'm only going to be able to do Q&A at the end. If you guys want to, you can give me number 2 in the question box. 2 in the question box means that I'm going to literally play last week's session. So it's not like an old session or anything. You'll hear me saying dates and stuff and talking about Valentine's Day. So it's just from last week. And if I am playing that, obviously I will have time to hang out in the question box with you guys. And not only will you be able to watch the presentation, but then you'll be able to actually get answers to your questions in the question box as we're going. Either way, yeah, George said, what about the cash prizes? Either way, you guys are getting cash prizes, so don't worry about that. Lots of ones coming in. Lots of ones coming in. So if anyone wants to see actually get a coaching session here today, now's your time to vote. The ones are running away with it, and awesome stuff. Guys, we have done this a few times, this voting thing. And literally, I think one time ever have people actually asked for the live version. Everyone usually wants the coaching and everything. So, but today, guys, you guys are way like all ones. So you guys want the live session? We'll do it live. That's perfectly fine. So let's go ahead and get into it, guys. First things first, let's enter into the anti-distraction zone. Now, guys, keep in mind, because we are doing this live and because I'm not doing a replay of last week's session, I'm not going to be in the question box with you. Steve's going to be in there a little bit, but keep in mind that because we're doing this live here today, you guys voted to see this live. Because we're doing this live, we have to keep all the questions for the very end, and you're pretty much just going to be listening to the presentation. So keep the questions coming. We got Steve in the question box. We're going to do a Q&A at the end, but keep in mind with me actually talking and looking at the slides, I'm not going to be able to answer questions in the question box. We'll save all of those for the end. Anti-distraction zone, guys, like if you're here right now and you're sitting on Facebook, you're on Drudge Report, you're on CNN, you're on your phone, what the hell are you doing? Like, we're trying to build a business here. It's not just important to me. You reached out, you raised up your hand and said, it is important for me to change my life and actually figure out how to build this business for myself. So don't be afraid of your own potential. Like, don't just go on Facebook during this presentation. Don't just go on the news. Don't just go on your phone. You need to focus and you need to produce. I want to see you guys taking action and actually building businesses here today with me. I don't want this to be some webinar where you just take some notes and then feel productive at the end. Let's actually build something together, okay? So enter into the anti-distraction zone. Do not, turn over your phone, turn off Facebook, turn off the news. Let's shut out the rest of the world for just 2 hours here and build a real life-changing business for yourself, right? Guys, like, this is what you ultimately have to do. At some point, you're going to have to sacrifice some of your time, some of your attention to build this business for yourself and to change your life. So let's start it now. Let's take some action. Don't just take notes. Take action. If you have additional questions, throw them in the question box. We'll obviously get as many of those as well as we can. So e-commerce just exploding right now, guys. And this is like old data now. If we go look at the Amazon stock price, right? I made this slide. So Amazon was 20 times larger than it was in 2008 when I made this slide. Let's see what it's doing now. So 2008, like I said, let's take it from 2008 to today. And Amazon is 3,532% larger. So Amazon is 36 times larger as a company than it was in 2008. This company, guys, is literally driving the world economy right now. This company is what pulled us out of the 2008 recession. This company is going to define generations. Literally, like, this is going to be the Microsoft of our generation. There will be 20 plus years of the American economy that is defined by Amazon. This is huge. This is huge, guys. 36 times larger than it was just 10 years ago. Companies that are worth, let's see what Amazon's worth today. Today, Amazon is worth $734 billion. Companies that are worth $734 billion don't grow like this. They don't go 36x in 10 years. This is an outrageous level of growth that has never been experienced in human history. And the really interesting thing about all this, guys, is Amazon. If we look at Amazon, percentage third-party sellers. Amazon is a $750 billion company that is growing like crazy. And as we can see, 51% of their sales revenue comes from third-party sellers just like you and me. So Amazon, $750 billion company, but half of that money belongs to the third-party sellers. Third-party sellers are Amazon, right? People go to Amazon, they buy products from Amazon, but they don't realize that they're buying from third-party sellers, right? They think they're buying from Amazon. And this is the real magic of Amazon. You can see that even in 2007, it was only 26%. Well, what changed between 2007, 2008? Well, as you can see, third-party sellers, Amazon has created the most scalable opportunity for new entrepreneurs that's ever been seen before. You can literally start selling one product at a time on Amazon and scale all the way up to multiple millions of dollars a day if you want to. And Amazon's just going to run the exact same way for you, right? The website's going to be the same. They're going to handle your inventory. They're going to ship things out for you. It is just the most scalable thing I've ever seen for new entrepreneurs. Because again, you can start with one, right? You can start with one. As I'm going to show you here in a little bit, I got started in e-commerce in like 2002. Back then, like I had to buy warehouses and get staff and buy huge racks and put them together and get workers' comp insurance and all this stuff. Well, guys, now as a new entrepreneur, you can literally just send your products into Amazon. They're going to store the product for you, and they're going to ship it out to your customer when it sells, right? So Amazon has essentially eliminated every physical need in this business. They have made selling physical products online into a nearly digital business, which is absolutely incredible. And as you can see, guys, everyone talks about how much Amazon's growing, and Amazon's the biggest company, and Jeff Bezos is the richest man in the world now, worth over $100 billion. Jeff Bezos, if Amazon becomes a $1 trillion company, which most people think it will very soon, Jeff Bezos will be worth more than Warren Buffett and Bill Gates combined. So Amazon is literally redefining the entire world economy, guys, and they have opened it up to you. So it's really up to you. Do you want to reach out and grab a piece of this pie? Because it's the biggest pie we've seen yet. They have left it completely open, right? Third-party sellers own over 50% of Amazon's revenue. So it's up to you if you want to reach out there and grab your slice of this pie, because it's there for you, and the opportunity is huge. Amazon is just growing. Amazon's literally doubling year over year. It's ridiculous. Amazon is a $750 billion company. No one knows what's going to happen next. I mean, this could be the first $1 trillion company in history. E-commerce fever, like outside of Amazon, you just see so much e-commerce growth, right? Shopify. My number one stock pick of all time is Shopify. We look at Shopify. I got in Shopify at $19. And yeah, somewhere down here, like $19 here. And even they are up 600% since 2 years ago. So, I mean, guys, it is just ridiculous what is happening here. The entire world economy is being redefined and rebuilt on an e-commerce platform. Every single retailer that you see out there, Sports Authority, Circuit City, Radio Shack, Best Buy, Sears, JCPenney, Macy's, Marshall Fields, like go down the list, guys. Every single one of these retailers is going out of business. They're all going bankrupt. And where do you think all those sales are going? They're going to Amazon, where 51% of those sales are going to you. So you are watching the entire multi-trillion-dollar retail sector fall apart, literally disintegrate. All of that money is going online. It's going to people like you. So there's never been quite as easy as an opportunity for new entrepreneurs to get started and actually quit their job, actually have sustainable cash flow. This isn't some get-rich-quick scheme. These are real products we're selling and real brands that have real value. So you can see why I'm so excited about this, and it's just getting bigger right now. It's absolutely crazy. So that's that. We'll stop talking about e-commerce. Real quick, dabble into my story. I know no one came here today to hear about me, so I will literally just speed right through this. So I was born into a very poor family in Chicago. We were on public aid and all this fun stuff. By the time I was 5 years old, my parents, which were 17 at the time when they had me, but by the time I was 5 years old and they were 22, 23, they took a huge risk and started their own business in the dawn of the dot-com boom. Sold it in 1999 at the height of the dot-com bubble. So we immediately moved out of Chicago and moved to Florida. Last place we wanted to be was Chicago. Florida's much better, if anyone's wondering. And ever since then, I knew that I was going to be an entrepreneur. I was raised as an entrepreneur. I didn't understand why people were going to school and taking these tests and all this crazy stuff just to get a job. And the whole thing was just completely bizarre to me. I had just watched my parents go out and make an enormous sum of money in 5 years by taking a huge risk and changing the world with their own business. That was the only way I knew how to do it. That was the only option I had. I was going to be an entrepreneur. And I knew that if I could figure out how to be profitable, if I could figure out how to be an entrepreneur, by the time I was 18, I would essentially be able to live under my parents' roof and never have a job, right? I wouldn't have to go to college. I wouldn't have to get a job. I could literally just go from high school and move out and make it on my own. So that was my goal from when I was like 12 years old. And so I knew that I had to fail as many times as I possibly could before I was 18 years old. Because if I didn't figure this out at 18, well, then I had to go to college and then I had to get the job. And then I was a slave to the system, in my eyes, a slave to the rat race. So I started trying everything I could. And I knew I was super young, but it didn't matter if I lost a couple $100 there, a couple of $100 here, because I knew my parents were going to, ultimately feed me and things like that until I was 18. So I knew I was just going to fail as much as I possibly could. I have done all sorts of things from, selling my parents beer, which they weren't very happy with, but it was a real successful business. To Beanie Babies, to importing Pokemon cartridges from Japan and selling them to my friends. So I was just trying everything I possibly could, failing at pretty much everything. You have some small successes here and there where you're making $10 or so, but nothing that would allow me to not go to college, which was my real goal here. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no business skills, no connections, but I had just seen my dad do it when he was 17 years old. I had just seen my mom and dad both go out and do this on their own at such a young age. I knew that there was no ladder that you had to climb up. There was no one you had to prove yourself to. You just had to go out and make it happen. So I knew that if I just kept at it, yeah, it's going to take me a few years, but I was going to figure it out. All I knew was I was going to be an entrepreneur. So the reason I actually got into importing and e-commerce, and this is crazy to say, but when I got into e-commerce, it was in 2002. So 16 years ago, I got into e-commerce. And the reason I got into it was because my dad came home from buying a new car one day, and the car dealer was telling him about this 17-year-old kid who had come in the day before and bought a brand new Mercedes, $100,000 cash, just wrote the check for it and drove it off the lot. And obviously the car dealer's like, dude, what are you doing? I'm sitting here working at a car dealership and I can't afford these cars. What in the world are you doing at 17 years old that allows you to go in and just slap down a check for a brand new Mercedes? And the kid said, listen, I don't really know what's going on right now, but I started buying counterfeit hair straighteners from China. I'm selling them on eBay, and I'm making more money than I know what to do with. So this was like 2002, guys. eBay was huge. Amazon was nothing. And eBay was very unregulated. So my dad came home one day and he said, hey, I heard about this kid selling counterfeit hair straighteners on eBay. Why don't you give it a shot? So that's how I got into e-commerce. And this is a picture of me when I got into e-commerce. Guys, I know if you go on my website today, there's all sorts of nice little authority pictures, and I look real cool now. But here's what I looked like at 13 when I actually figured out how to run this business. You can see I'm not more intelligent than anyone here. I would be willing to bet that everyone here is more educated than I am. So like I dropped out of high school, guys. I don't have a high school diploma. I don't have a GED because I figured out how to make it on my own, and I shunned the entire traditional success system and I blazed my own trail. So is that difficult to do? Do you have to be special to do that? Absolutely not. You can see the kid that did it right here. I don't know what the hell I was thinking at 13 years old. I got gothic pants on, some type of woman's V-neck shirt with a star on it. It looks like I have like a daisy on my underwear. I don't know what I'm thinking here. Complete fool. So if this kid can figure it out, guys, I promise you guys can. Furthermore, when I figured this out, there was no webinars like this, right? I had to go out there and just lose money. That's how I had to learn how to run this business. You guys have the benefit of thousands and thousands and thousands of people writing blog posts and podcasts and case studies and webinars like this. You have so much success to model after. It's going to be so easy for you to be successful in this business. The people that were getting started in 2002, that was the tough part, right? So that's how I got into e-commerce. Obviously, I don't recommend this to anyone, but I'm going to be honest with you guys. When I got started in like 2002, 2003, I got started with the counterfeits. I heard about this kid selling counterfeit hair straighteners. So I went out and I looked at counterfeit hair straighteners. I didn't like that they were electric and, you know, having plugs and everything. I just didn't understand it at 12, 13 years old. But I did see other counterfeits and I understood the concept. And this was my big eureka moment. Like, I started with these purses and Chanel purses and Gucci and stuff. And then I quickly expanded out to pretty much everything I could find. My most profitable item of all time was this one right here. These are P90X. They're little home workout systems. And these things we were getting from the actual P90X factory. So this is what's called a gray market good. So we were getting this from the actual Beachbody factory, but it's just unlicensed. So we didn't have the license to sell these in the US, but we were getting them from the actual supplier at $4 a box. And then we would sell these things on Craigslist for like $140 a box. And we were just making an absolute killing with them. So obviously counterfeits I don't recommend anyone go into this. Like, don't even look at counterfeits, because in 2002, yeah, counterfeits, you could do them. You can make some money. Today, you're going to get kicked off of the websites immediately. You're going to get banned. You can't do counterfeits anymore. The time is over. But I got started in counterfeits 2002, 2003, sold these both online and in person. And this was my big eureka moment. Guys, I was 13 years old at the time. I was trying other business models. I was like trying local marketing consulting, for instance. So I would go into local businesses as a 13-year-old and try to pitch them on marketing services. Most of them would be like, well, you know, that's cute, but I'm not going to actually invest money into a 13-year-old. So the reason I love e-commerce is because most other businesses out there, you have to have a reputation. You have to have a track record. You have to have like tons of stuff set up and ready to go, right? Success breeds success. And that's certainly true in this. But e-commerce is awesome because nobody knows who's behind these brands. You're going to have a product and a brand that you present on Amazon, and it doesn't matter what your track record is. It doesn't matter if you've, you know, kissed enough ass in your lifetime, because the product alone, it just stands on its own, right? The product speaks for itself, and it doesn't matter who's behind it. This was one of my favorite things about e-commerce, because so many other businesses out there, you need prior success. You need a track record. You need to climb up the ladder. But with e-commerce, I can create a brand and a product and put it out there and put it on display, and people are just going to love it. They're just going to go for it, and it doesn't matter that there's a 13-year-old kid behind it. So this was huge for me, and this was my huge epiphany that this was all going to work for me. And then, of course, I got the cease and desist. Now, if anyone doesn't know what a cease and desist is, if you are selling fake crap, if you're selling fake Chanel, fake P90Xs, eventually someone's going to realize it, and they're going to send you a cease and desist. And the cease and desist is going to say, hey, stop selling fake crap because we're going to come after you if you don't stop it. So I got the cease and desist from a few different brands because I was selling a lot of different brands. And I was smart, and I just cut it out immediately. I still have some of this inventory, actually, from when I was like 13, because I didn't sell any more inventory. I just shut down the counterfeit business once I got those cease and desist. But I knew that I could do it. I knew, because I had that big eureka moment, that in e-commerce, you don't have to have a track record. You don't have to have a huge brand. You just have to have an awesome product that's displayed properly. I knew that this was the business for me because, again, I'm like 14 years old at this point. No one's going to buy something from me. But if I put a product out there, a lot of people will buy that. That's what I discovered. So I tried going legit, figured it would be pretty easy, and it wasn't at all. The thing is, when you're selling counterfeits, you're leveraging the marketing. You're essentially stealing the marketing that big company is doing, right? So people already want Chanel purses, so it's easy to just take your piece of that pie, right? But when you go legit, you have to create the desire. You have to sell the product. So that's a lot of what we're going to talk about here today is how to actually sell products, because like creating demand is the real golden goose, right? Creating demand, not just knowing how to put products on Amazon, but knowing how to create sustainable demand and leverage that demand into dollars behind your product. So I tried going legit, hundreds of hours of research. This is when I really started skipping school. You know, like during my counterfeit phase, I was making more money at one point than my teachers were. So I would go into school every day and I would, I was all excited about this. I would tell my teachers about it, tell my friends, and every time they would shoot me down and say, hey, don't work on that. Get back to the course load, get back to the course lesson plan, all this stuff. And they would start failing me on tests and stuff. So I just completely shunned the entire concept of formal education at this point. All of these teachers were trying to sabotage my career, and I was literally more successful than any of them already at 14 years old. So I completely lost respect for all form of formal education at this point. Completely stopped going to school, literally just sitting in my room all day, every day. My senior year of high school, I think I missed like 97 out of 180 days. So I'm not even sure how I didn't get arrested for truancy, honestly, but I just stopped going and I sat at home every day and I figured out how was I going to make this business work, because I knew this was my shot. I knew I could escape the rat race. I could escape the education to the corporate 9-to-5 little system. I could escape all of that through this business model. So I was literally taking everything I could. Like I was on the internet all day, every day, just trying to make this business work. I always say I was kind of like a mad scientist, literally just sitting in my room, lights off, pulling my hair out, trying to get this business to work. This was a period where my parents were very concerned about me because, they weren't as confident that I was building businesses in there. So yeah, sort of like a mad scientist, literally just in my dark little cave every night, pulling my hair out, trying to get this business to work, because there was no way I was about to go to college and get the job and everything. So tons of mistakes and setbacks. Luckily I had some money from the counterfeits to lose, and I did lose some of it, as I'm going to show you here. So here's some of the bad products that I've had, and you'll definitely start to learn a thing or two, take some lessons away from these setbacks that I've had. But in a few minutes, I'm actually going to start to show you how you can find successful products right now that are going to be launchable and you can actually build a business out of. So no one take these products, because these are from like 10 years ago. But the lessons behind them and why I screwed up with these is really valuable. So hopefully you'll learn something here. The first one is patio furniture sets. These things are great on paper. Guys, anything that's over 5 pounds, you have to have shipping contracts to sell profitably. And this is what I didn't realize at the time. Like when I first started out, I didn't realize that, there's this thing called landed cost. And, it's not just the cost of the goods. You got to ship the goods and stuff like that. So I saw these patio furniture sets and they looked great on paper, but I just didn't realize how much these things were going to cost to ship. Now, I bought 10 of these and sold all 10 pretty profitably, sent all 10 out. The shipping ate up pretty much all the profit, which was fine. I'm fine breaking even on my first 10 units. But what happened after that was 2 of these, because they are so huge and tough to ship, 2 of them got damaged in shipping. So now all of a sudden I had these 2 returns that I had to get this entire patio furniture set back from the customer, give them a new patio furniture set from China. So this was an absolute nightmare. And, what I discovered here is that the product was just too heavy. Now, like today, I get up to 78% off of all UPS and FedEx shipping. So now I can ship stuff like this out all day and it's profitable. But when you're first starting out, you have to start with light products. You have to start with things that are under 5 pounds, because anything over 5 pounds is going to be a nightmare to ship around and it's going to eat up all of your margin. So stick to light products. That's the takeaway here. When you're first starting out, your first product, stick with something under 5 pounds, because that is not going to cost a lot to ship around. After that, excuse me. After that, I went for these mattress sheets. These mattress sheets were obviously much lighter, so I was a big fan of that. And these sheets, I literally went for the lightest thing I could. Essentially, I said, "Man, these patio furniture sets were terrible. I just lost so much money on shipping. I'm only doing the lightest thing I can possibly find." So patio sheets. I bought 10 of these, and I think I was like 16 at the time. As a 16-year-old boy, what you do to test mattress sheets is you throw them on the bed and you roll around in them, and you're like, yeah, these are mattress sheets. So you run with it. So I tested them myself, and they looked like they were mattress sheets. So I went ahead and bought like 100 of them. And as I started to sell these things, I started to get a bunch of feedback in. And what had happened was the colors leaked all over the place in the washing machine. The colors just did not stick to the actual mattress sheet. So what happened with this one was essentially, as a 16-year-old, I didn't realize that people wash sheets, right? And the lesson here and the takeaway is that a lot of times you will think that you can test your product, but the truth of the matter is you're not going to use the product the same way a customer will. You're not going to use it with the same purpose, the same vigor, the same, to test these things, you have to get them in the hands of customers or as close as you can. But don't test them yourself, because that's what ends up happening there. And again, I just didn't validate the product. I didn't do enough testing before I went and bought a huge amount of units. What I do now is I try to sell units before I make large orders. Like I want 10, 20 units in. I'm going to sell some of those units at full price to customers and see what they think. And if they love it, then I know I can go buy 1,000 and I'll be fine with it. After that, we did these Yes We Cannabis shirts. These were in the Obama days. This was in like 2007. So Obama was running for office, and we thought this was going to be killer, right? Yes, we can. Yes, we cannabis. How can you fail? This one was actually a really good business, but we did something that a lot of new entrepreneurs do, and we grew too quickly. Now, I will try to quickly explain this concept. This is a business 201 concept, so this isn't business 101. Let's try to explain this really quickly for you on a live webinar, though. So let's say and this is what actually happened. So I started this business with $5,000 to spend. And what I did was I went to a t-shirt manufacturer. He told me that I could buy, these shirts at $5 a piece. So I said, man, I have $5,000. I'll buy 1,000 shirts. And some of you already know where this is going. So I put $5,000 into inventory. Inventory depreciates every single day. So every day, like the moment I put that cash into inventory, I started losing money, because you got to liquidate that inventory. You got to turn it back over in dollars quickly, right? So I took the 5,000, put it all into inventory. That started depreciating the next day. Then I went out there and I tried to sell these things. Well, I had literally zero. My ad budget was $0, right? So it became very difficult to sell the inventory quickly enough, because I literally didn't have any money to advertise the inventory. I didn't have enough money to get eyes on the inventory. Now, the inventory that did sell ended up selling very well, and we ended up actually being profitable on this business. But by the time the election was over and everything, we just didn't move quick enough on it, and I still have like 1,200 of these shirts in my garage. So the lesson here is don't grow too quickly. Because guys, think about it this way. What would have happened if I did this just a little bit differently, right? If instead of buying 1,000 shirts, what if I bought, 500 shirts? And maybe they're even a little bit more. Maybe they're $6 a shirt at that, right? Well, let's pull up a calculator, 500 times 6. So I would have put $3,000 into inventory, and I would have had $2,000 left over to sell the inventory. And then I could sell that inventory. This would have turned into $9K. I could have went in and bought that order I wanted to originally and continued to sell it with that ad budget. So as you can see, like you can't put every dollar you have into inventory. And it's a very common mistake that new e-commerce entrepreneurs make. So hopefully at least one of you will avoid that mistake now. And that's some bad products. So eventually success started to happen, which was a good thing, because I was just about out of my counterfeit money at this point. But the first great product I found were these motivational pillows. These were great for a couple reasons. First of all, they were super light, super easy to ship, super cheap to ship. They were durable, right? You can't really screw up a pillow. And the other good thing was I could print whatever quote I wanted on these pillows. So if I wanted, a different pillow for a different target customer, excuse me, if I wanted a different pillow for a different market, all I had to do was print a different quote on the pillow, right? Excuse me. So this was the first good product I found, and we had some fun with that one. Went into like decorative knives and swords after this. This was around the time period of Lord of the Rings, so I made a ton of money selling Lord of the Rings swords and knives and stuff like that. And then from there, I went into like katanas and samurai swords, and there's like this whole competitive katana market. So I went into that, sold swords and stuff until I was like 17 years old. Did LED light bulbs for a little bit. So when LED light bulbs first came out, everyone was buying these things. No one had them. Everyone wanted them. No advertising required. People just, as they knew about LED light bulbs, they were going to go online and buy them. So we sold these for about a year or two and made an absolute killing with those. And then the product that really changed my life was this one right here, the M82P electric airsoft gun. This one right here changed everything, because what happens in this business, guys, and this is probably going to happen to you too, you're probably going to go out there and just sell a whole bunch of random stuff. People are always concerned, like, do I have to stay in one niche? Do I have to stay in one market? No, not at all. Like most people in this business will start off selling all sorts of stuff. They'll sell LED light bulbs, they'll sell pillows, they'll sell knives. And then eventually they'll find a product like this one, a slam dunk product like the M82P electric airsoft gun. And this one, when I sold this, guys, I kid you not, the first one I sold, I had someone email me and say, hey, there's a birthday coming up. I want to buy 10 more of these. So I was like, holy cow. All right, 10 more. No problem. Here you go. I had people email me saying, hey, I need a vest. I need a mask. I need BBs. I need a sidearm. I need all these different things. So all of a sudden, my customers essentially told me that there was a massive opportunity in the airsoft niche, and that if I just went deep on the airsoft niche, they were all going to pull out their wallets and pay me money, right? And so once I saw this, I obviously went after it. The same supplier I was using for this, I would just go to him and say, hey, I got customers who want this. And then he would throw in a few of those units, throw in a few of those units. And over time, I just slowly grew this thing into like a 70 product brand and a really successful company. And I started to shed off all of these, extra products. Like over time, once I started getting really deep into airsoft, I started to cut off the pillows, the knives, the lights, and everything. And I just focused on the airsoft market. So that was awesome for me. And some quick stats. This was all before I was 18 years old, guys. So this is like my this is my college escape plan, you can call it. This is what I did to not go to college and to not get a traditional 9-to-5 job. Counterfeits, I made about 60 grand in profit on. This is all net. First legitimate product were the pillows, made about 27 grand a year on those. The knives and the sword, we made just north of 50 grand a year on those. And then the airsoft guns, we really went deep on. Once we went into airsoft, we started dropping off every single other thing we were doing. We just focused on the airsoft product line, and that one did, I think we broke 200,000 a year in profit at one point, but very good company for us. And as you guys can see, you can do this with any product in any market. I've done this with pillows. I've done this with airsoft guns. As you're going to see, I do this now with beauty products. So you can do this with any type of product. It's not niche specific. Like a good e-commerce entrepreneur can take any product and turn it into a successful product line and a successful brand. It's all about just knowing what you're doing. I've done it with like 8 different brands now. And as you're going to see, the one I do it with now is very different from what I was doing when I was 17. So, airsoft guns. Everyone always says, hey, what happened to your airsoft business? In 2007, China had a big problem with people apparently smuggling out real guns through airsoft shipments. So essentially, you'd have like a gang or something, I don't know, but some sort of gang or whoever runs these guns would put these orange tips on real guns, and then they would mix them with airsoft guns and ship them into the US as airsoft guns. So apparently there were a bunch of Chinese gangs like smuggling in weapons as airsoft guns. So in 2007, China had to ban the export of weapon lookalikes, and obviously airsoft guns are piled in there. So in 2007, China literally just shut down my business. All my suppliers could no longer export. I could still get the product if I, put it through like, Pakistan and then through the U.S. or something. But at this point, I was just going into college. As you're going to see, I didn't go to college, but I was just getting ready to go into college and stuff. And at this point, I was just done with e-commerce. 2007, it just seemed like the end of e-commerce. I didn't really see where it could go from there. As you saw from the chart I just showed you, in 2008, Amazon did something that completely changed e-commerce forever. And that's why Amazon is 36 times bigger than they were in 2008. But I'll tell you about that in a second and what they actually did to bring me back into e-commerce. After that, this was 2007, right? In 2007, social networks were all the rage. So we actually launched a social network and sold that company in about a year and a half. So this was a super successful time span for me. A whole group of investors went in and started affluence.org. It's a social network specifically for the ultra wealthy, and took that company public. From there, this was in 2009, 2010, we took the money that we made from Affluence and we actually bought an e-commerce company. Guys, the big change that Amazon did was they came out with something called FBA. FBA is Fulfillment by Amazon. It came out in early 2008, and Fulfillment by Amazon is essentially an outsourced warehouse. FBA means that Amazon is going to store your inventory for you and ship it out for you when it sells on the Amazon marketplace. So this changed everything in 2008. We came back into e-commerce in 2009, 2010. The deal actually closed. Put pretty much everything into that e-commerce company. And we bought this company, 8 years ago already. But in just 8 years, we've taken it from $2 million to a $20 million company. We actually bought one brand, and today we sell about 1,600 different SKUs from probably 18 different brands now. So it is just growing very quickly. 40 full-time staff. When I made this slide, this is where it was at. Now we have like 18 different brands. We're going to be in China again in April, launching new brands again. So, I mean, it is just growing like crazy. We just became the largest professional organic beauty distributor in North America, so that's awesome. And here's some of our products. We have the Simply Organic product line, which is based on olive leaf. We have the Oway product line. This is something we import from Italy, very high-end hair color line. Skincare lines. And guys, this is what I really want for you. I can show you all of our products. We got thousands of them, but that's not going to inspire you, because then it's like, well, that's like tons of products. How am I going to do that? What I'm going to teach you how to do today is find like one beachhead product, one product to start everything with. And from there, we're going to expand out and expand out and expand out and expand out. And eventually, we just want a nice little 5 to 10 product line selling consistently on Amazon, right? Let's crunch some numbers really quick, guys. And hopefully you can see my little calculator on my screen. So let's say we had 10 products selling at, let's say we make just 10 sales a day. So 10 products selling 10 units a day. And let's say each one of those sells at an average of just $25 a day. So now you're talking about $2,500 of revenue right there. Let's go ahead and take that, extrapolate it out 365 days. You're talking just having 10 products selling at an average of $25 a day, 10 units per day, you're talking about $1 million right there. That's $1 million of revenue just right there. And let's make it even simpler. Let's say we only have 5 products selling that well. Well, there's $500,000 of revenue. So $500,000, $1 million, really not that big of a number when it comes to e-commerce, just the way this business works. So that's what I want for you guys, is a nice little 5 to 10 product line. I don't want you getting ambitious and thinking about 30 products and 50 products. Let's start with one product that's going to sell the best seller in our product line. And then from there, we're going to, as we get more customers, it's going to be easier to launch that next product. They're going to help us launch this product. and then there's going to be more people to help us launch this product. So that's how this business works. We need to find one beachhead product and expand it out to a nice little 5 to 10 product line. Obviously today, guys, we literally 1,600 different products. We have, like, we sell shelves now. We sell all sorts of stuff. So our product line is expansive. If you're really, really interested in seeing our product line and everything, let me see what I can do for you. You can always go to shop.simplyorganicbeauty.com and see all of our products. And that is our current product line. So that wraps up me talking about me. Let's get into you, because obviously, again, like all of you right now, I think every single person here is motivated and ready to go. You're all probably like the Energizer Bunny right now. You are just ready to go. You are ready to hit the ground running, but you have no idea which way to run, right? And this is the problem in entrepreneurship. A lot of people are inspired. Every person here is inspired and motivated. So that's not your problem. I think uncertainty is your problem. I think you don't have confidence in the decisions you're making, so you're second guessing yourself and you end up not getting anything done. There's no accomplishment because you're questioning yourself at every turn. So I want to eliminate the confusion in launching this business. I want to get you from confused to, again, not millions of dollars on Amazon, not being the next Apple, but to have a nice little 5 to 10 product line, selling a few units a day. That makes us some money. That's what we're trying to do here, guys. Oh yeah, some extra slides here. I'll just speed through really quickly. Yeah, obviously I spent a lot of time helping people launch these businesses now. I think if you actually Google import from China, I think we're the #1 thing that comes up. So yeah, StartupBros, #1 thing here. So we literally have millions and millions and millions of people coming to us every single year now, trying to figure out how to make this business work. So we spend a lot of time with our clients now. We actually go to China twice a year with 30 clients. We'll be back there again in just 52 days. We'll be back there again. But here's an image of us with our clients in China. We've done that 6 times now. This will be our 7th time going back to China with some clients. We do conferences now. So here's our Import Empire Summit in the Ritz-Carlton, Orlando. This was a really cool conference. We actually got Damon John to come out and hang out at this one for a couple days. So this was an incredible conference. And as you can see here, guys, like all walks of life. This guy's named Bavar. He is from South America. TJ's a San Francisco-based entrepreneur here. Here's Priscilla. She is a stay-at-home mom. So like there are people from all walks of life having success with this. And it doesn't matter if, big, small, tall, short, it does not matter. This business is killing it no matter where you're at in the world. Because, guys, we're just watching retail disintegrate. You're watching hundreds of billions, if not trillions of dollars of retail store revenue is going online. It's going to you guys. So it's just up to you if you want to get out there and take your slice of the pie, because that transition is going to happen either way. So let's get into some actual stuff here on how to build the business. So why are private label and FBA so hot right now? I'm going to go through this quickly because I don't think there's many people left that think that it's too late. The reason this slide is in here is because a lot of people think it's too late for them to get started on Amazon. As I've shown you here today, Amazon's literally growing quicker than it's ever grown before. These people are drowning in customers. Amazon is literally begging new sellers and new brands to come on. I know one guy who is being paid millions. I don't know if I can really talk about this because it's very private, but I know one guy that Amazon's working with directly to launch like 30 well-known brands on Amazon, because Amazon is desperate for brands like yours to come on right now. So they are literally paying out of pocket now to just have sellers like you on the platform, building new brands that are exclusive to Amazon, because that helps Amazon draw customers away from other retailers. It is so cheap to start this business now. When I got started in this business, I literally had boxes everywhere. There were BBs everywhere in my house. My parents were pissed. I had friends over every single day helping to ship things out. Lots of fun to sell hundreds of things a day online. Not as much fun to ship those things out. But with FBA, again, FBA has created the most scalable business opportunity in human history, in that FBA is an outsourced warehouse, right? So you don't have to store your inventory. You don't have to see your inventory. You don't have to touch your inventory. All the inventory is going to get shipped from your supplier to an Amazon warehouse like FBA. Once Amazon FBA has your inventory, whether it's 1 unit or whether it's 1,000,000 units, they're going to check all of that inventory into their warehouses. Once it's checked in, it instantly becomes available to sell on Amazon. And once it sells, Amazon's going to ship it out from you to the customer with Amazon 2-day shipping. So that is incredible. Like I have a warehouse, guys, because when I got started in this business, you needed a warehouse. Now you don't even need to touch your inventory. It has become so cheap to start this business. Like guys, a few years ago, I would have had to go out and buy thousands of units to get started in a new product. Now every supplier in the world is online and they're all competing for your business like crazy. So they're perfectly fine doing like 5 units here, 10 units there. That wasn't even possible a few years ago, but it is just becoming easier and easier and easier to start this business. It's absolutely incredible. Like 5 years ago, there was no software to help you run this business. Now there's got to be 200 pieces of software. So, I mean, this industry that has spawned up around Amazon sellers is massive. It is the new retail industry, and it's going to be a multi-trillion-dollar industry. Like I said, you don't even have to touch your inventory, which is the biggest difference in this business. Like this is why Amazon's big right here, is because they will handle your inventory and you don't have to touch it. They have simplified the supply chain down to a point where you can outsource your entire supply chain to Amazon and be confident that it's going to be done better than you could do it yourself. So it's absolutely incredible what they've done. And that is Amazon and FBA. So I'm going to grab a drink real quick, and we're going to get into the actual step-by-step actions here you're going to need to build this business. I will be back in 1 second. I'm going to grab some coffee. All right. Katina said, I was told you have to ship to your home first to put on labels before Amazon will take it. That is absolutely not true. You should be getting your supplier to put those labels on for you. Why would you ship your product to an extra location just to put labels on it? No, have Chinese people put your labels on at like, $3 an hour or something. It's going to be so much cheaper, and you have just eliminated half of your shipping cost. Peter said, so if you sell a product worth $30 for 30 days, that's $9,010 per day. How much percentage goes to Amazon? Yeah. So Peter's question is basically, what are Amazon fees? Amazon fees, you can assume if you're using FBA, it's going to be about 30% of your revenue. 30% of your revenue is going to go to both Amazon fees and the actual cost of shipping the product out of FBA. So the storage, the shipping, the checking in, all of that, you can assume that all of that together is going to be about 30% of the gross revenue from Amazon. Mike said, what percentage does Amazon take? Yeah, we just answered that one. All right, so we got all the questions answered here, guys. Let's go ahead and jump into the actual step-by-step plan. What time is it? 4:02. So we have 58 minutes left. 58 minutes. So guys, this presentation is many hours long. So we're going to get as deep into this as we can. Keep the questions coming. Like if something's too basic for you guys, let me know. If something's too advanced for you guys, let me know. I've been teaching this stuff since 2014. So I have lost track of, what is advanced and what is not. All I'm going to tell you how to do is how to actually launch this business from scratch. If you have additional questions, go ahead and put them in the box. We'll get as many as we can. Let's get into it. So finding a killer product, obviously the first step. So we have to know what makes a good product. So again, guys, the first product that you go to sell has to be a little bit better than all the others. I call it a beachhead product. So we're looking for a beachhead product opportunity. Why do I call it a beachhead product opportunity? Well, just like World War II, when the Allies stormed the beaches of Normandy on D-Day to reclaim and liberate Europe, we shall do the same in e-commerce. We need to find a beachhead product that we are going to land at the beaches of our target market, and we are going to develop that foothold with this awesome product, and we are going to expand our product line out from there and eventually have a 5 to 10 product line. So that is what we're trying to do here. What makes a good product? Well, they're small, light, and simple to ship. I don't want things like anything over 3 pounds when you're first starting out, probably not good. Earlier I said under 5 pounds in general, but when you're first starting out, you got to be even stricter. And I would say anything over 3 pounds is probably going to be too heavy. I want the product to sell between $15 and $100. For the people here today, I'm even going to adjust this. I need to adjust this slide because these numbers, like I came up with this in 2014. I came up with all of these things in 2014. And part of the problem is everyone now uses these things that I made in 2014. So we're going to have to adjust this a little bit to find new product opportunities because everyone's looking for this now because I told them to for the last 4 years. So I'm going to switch this a little bit and I'm going to have to update this slide because I would say the new startup sweet spot is 20 to, let's say, 55. Anywhere from 20 to 55. That's where you want your product selling for on Amazon. At $20, the shipping costs aren't going to destroy your profit margins. If you sell something under $10 on Amazon, you will not make money. That is just how Amazon works. And that's why when you go on Amazon, if I look for, I don't know, what's something super cheap? Like if I look for a stainless steel straw, no one's going to sell one stainless steel straw. They're going to sell a pack of stainless steel straws because if they were just selling one, it would be incredibly unprofitable. Anything under $10 is pretty unprofitable on Amazon just because of how the fee structure works. So that's why you'll see if there are products that are priced under $10, a lot of the times they'll be in bundles, they'll be in 6-packs or something like that because they have to drive the actual revenue up above $10. So $20 is what I'd say for you, though. Don't sell products that are selling for less than $20, and don't sell products that are selling for over $55. At $55, there's a couple things that happen. First of all, it's going to cost you more to get started with a product that costs more, right? To buy inventory, it's going to be more expensive. So if you're on a budget, you should try to aim for that 20 range. But even after the $55 range, another thing happens, and people are no longer impulse purchasing after $55. After $55, people start to really research and really compare and really make decisions that way. Under $55, a lot of people are just going to buy the product and not think about it. So that's why I like to sell between $20 and $55. Anything over or under that, I would avoid for your very first product. I want products with good margins. Honestly, guys, don't worry about margins too much when you're first starting out because your first order is probably just going to break even. If you can break even on your first order of like 10 units, then you know that this product is going to be crazy profitable when you go out and buy 100 or 200 or something like that. So don't look at margin too much, but I do want you, and I think we'll have time to talk about this, but when you're talking to your supplier, you want to price out bigger bulk orders so that you can figure out what your margin will be once you grow to a certain point. So I do want great margins. I want 67% margins in everything I do. Now, that's a very high margin, so most of your products aren't going to hit that, but that's where I'm aiming for. And again, this is a little bit complex because, as you buy more, your margin goes up on that end as well. So it's a little bit complex. Hopefully I have more time to talk about that on this webinar. There is something called the product lifecycle that I'm always thinking about when I select products, but we don't really have time to talk about that today. So if that's what makes good products, what makes bad products? Well, bad products tend to be pretty much the exact opposite. They tend to be heavy, bulky, and hard to ship. Guitar. Well, it's going to be pretty acoustic guitar. Might be light, but it's going to be super bulky and awkward, so it's going to be expensive to ship. A dumbbell, a 10-pound weight. Well, that's going to be super small, but it's going to be very heavy and expensive to ship. So heavy or bulky equals no. Technically complex products I want to avoid as well. there's something called air tolerance. And I'm always thinking about the air tolerance of my product. The air tolerance of something like a t-shirt, let's say, well, if something goes wrong with the t-shirt, maybe I can restitch the shirt, maybe I can reprint it, or worst case scenario, we're out $2 on a shirt. So t-shirt, high air tolerance, not very risky to manufacture. Whereas if we think of something like a car engine, well, a car engine has thousands of moving parts. And if even one little piece of metal goes on incorrectly, the whole engine explodes and there goes the engine, just gone. So I'm going to avoid things that are technically complex and require, precision engineering. Like I don't want to be selling products for the International Space Station. It's just too technically complex and precise. I would rather sell some cool little, consumer goods, and that's what we're going to aim for. We want to avoid markets with lots of brand loyalty. This is what I was talking about with the product life cycle. Products that are late in the life cycle are owned by brands. We want to find products that are not owned by brands yet. Something like the airsoft rifle. Can you guys name a big airsoft rifle brand? Because I used to sell them and I can't. There's like 2 and they're ultra high end. So that market was ripe for me to go take over and push myself in, even though I didn't have an existing brand. Let's compare that to something like baby diapers. Well, if I wanted to go start a baby diaper company, holy cow, it's going to cost me a fortune to get people to even consider my diaper brand and not just go buy Huggies and Pampers, because Huggies and Pampers owns that market. The baby diaper product is so late in the life cycle that there's no reason any of you should be getting into it. We need to get products that are early in the life cycle, fresh, novel, new, and exciting, and that don't have, big brands owning it yet. We obviously want to avoid trademark goods. I don't want to sell counterfeit stuff. We also want to avoid highly regulated goods. Don't sell missile launchers and things like that. Common sense. Cool. So we're going to do some product research together here today. You can go ahead and download my product research workbook. If you go to startupbros.com/workbook, this will take you to the page, and I will show you what it is. So this is the product research workbook. I'll go ahead and sign in so I can actually use this thing. Cool. So here is the product research workbook, and I see lots of anonymous animals are jumping on now. So guys, the product research workbook, first thing I'm going to do is actually delete some of this so we can use it, and we'll use these first couple rows here today. The product research workbook essentially is a way to compare lots of different products against each other, and through that, figure out what the best beachhead product opportunities are. So that's what this is all about. There's one common misconception about this sheet that people think that it's some type of like red light, green light system. This is not going to give you a red light and green light and tell you sell this product or don't sell this product. What it is going to do is allow you to compare lots of different products against each other to find the very, very best opportunity right now today. People have, like, one thing that people really don't understand about this business is that it changes every single day. So you need to go in and compile this data and compare the data and make a decision quickly and move forward with that decision. This is about looking at products in a snapshot of time today and comparing them to find the best possible opportunity that we have found today, and then moving forward with it. What a lot of people do is they just fill out this worksheet for like 20 plus hours, and then they never take the next step to actually build the business. So I don't want to see that happen to you. Like, this is about putting 25 to 50 products on a spreadsheet, sorting them by these columns, right? Sorting these and just finding the best possible opportunities that exist right now so you can go move forward with it literally right now today. Don't wait 2 weeks. Right now today, go order these products if you find an opportunity. So let me explain how this works, guys. And you're going to have to really pay attention here. I'm not going to go back and explain this again. So this is a worksheet that I've literally been developing for the past 15 years. It has changed quite a bit. It's got a lot of custom algorithms and things like that going on in it. Here's how you can use it. You can see right here. To use this, look above and click File, Make a Copy. File, Make a Copy. If you click OK here, this will make your own private version of the Product Research Workbook, and then you can go ahead and use your own private research workbook for yourself. The second row here will tell you where you get this data from. So we can see that all of this data here is from Amazon. All of this data here is from Alibaba. So we only need 2 websites for this. Here's what I don't want to see in the question box. What about DHgate? What about AliExpress? What about some random Chinese company I heard about 3 years ago? All of those are irrelevant. Here's what you need. Amazon data, Alibaba data. This is about saving time, guys. This is about quickly making decisions. Can you go to 45 different websites and see what other Chinese people are selling products for? Yeah, but I'm only doing business on Alibaba. Alibaba is the best marketplace. Cool. All right, so with the Amazon data here, we cannot get this data from Amazon. You could technically, but it would take you hours and hours and hours to actually crunch these numbers and do this math. You're going to need something either called Jungle Scout or Unicorn Smasher for this. A lot of people here are probably already familiar with these. Jungle Scout is a tool that as you're going around on Amazon, you can actually run the Jungle Scout tool here, and it will go through and it will actually compile huge amounts of data on every single product that has appeared on the page. So we're going to use this to actually research the markets that we're looking at on Amazon and see, is this a big opportunity for us? Can we sell products into this market effectively and make money doing it? So we're going to use Jungle Scout. Now, Jungle Scout is not free. If you use the link I just gave you, you will get a $20 discount on it. So yeah, you get $20 discount on the Chrome extension through that link I sent you. So feel free to use that if you want to. However, there is a free version as well. Unicorn Smasher is essentially a free ripoff of Jungle Scout. It's not as good at all, but it is a free alternative. So if you're just getting started, don't go buy tools right now. Like, just use Unicorn Smasher, see if this business is right for you. But if you decide that you really want to do this business, you're probably going to want Jungle Scout over Unicorn Smasher. However, I do want to give people 2 options because obviously I want to make sure everyone can participate even if you don't have Jungle Scout. So that is the Product Research Workbook. We are now going to research products. If you guys have product ideas, go ahead and pop them in to the question box right now. I will dream up some product ideas as well if you guys don't have any, but I'm sure you do. And we are going to get ready to do some research here. Now, I always use 2 monitors. I actually have 3 monitors, so I'm going to put this screen side by side for you. And cool. So we're going to get into it in a second here. Guys, if you have product ideas, go ahead and throw them in the question box. I will either research them or I will tell you why I don't like the product. Someone said a wall file organizer. I just looked at that one the other day, and we can take another look at it. Alex said foam rollers. Foam rollers, I don't think are going to be a good product. It is just too late in the product life cycle. I just don't think that's going to do well. Foam roller was a great product in like 2014. I know people that are on the first page here selling these things and making a killing, but it's just too developed of a market. Foam roller is just too developed of a market, not going to work anymore. Skateboard bearings, I don't like. It's just too, like, why would anyone buy your skateboard bearings over anyone else's, right? Pop sockets. I have no idea what a pop socket is. Let's check that out. Yeah, I have no idea what this is. Okay, this is like one of those little things for the back of your phone. We can look at this. I don't think that's going to be a good product. It's just too, everyone knows what these are already. Like, We need products that are early in the product life cycle. Guys, I'm not going to be able to go over the product life cycle here today, but if you do want more training on the product life cycle, I will send you a video. I have no idea why this video. Okay. Yeah, let me find it for you real quick. But the product life cycle is key here, and it seems like that's something a few people are missing here. So, product life cycle should be on the first page here. I'm very upset that we're not. So I'll go ahead and pop that into the question box for you guys to watch in your own time. But I think pop sockets are going to be way late in the product life cycle. Weightlifting belts late in the product life cycle. Disposable vape pens. Let's go look at that. Disposable vape. Yeah, so this is an interesting market. I do think you can do some interesting things in this market. I was actually thinking about starting a company in this market about 6 months ago. So I do think this is an interesting market, and I do think you could do well with it. And it looks like most of these people, inhalable. So inhalable vape is a really interesting one. We'll look at that up because that's an interesting market that I think there's a lot of opportunity in. CBD oils, I think that's a great market as well. Yeah, so CBD oils I think is a very good market. Let's see what else we got here. Hand sewing machine could be good. Let me see what that is. Like, is it something new and exciting and early in the life cycle? Maybe it is. I'm not sure. I think this is the product she's talking about. And there's a product here that's selling very well and it has terrible reviews. So, yeah, we could look at this market. All right, I'll take one more here and we will move through. Someone said stretch bowl covers. What in the world is that? Stretch bowl covers. Really interesting. I have no idea what this product is, which is a good sign. Silicone stretch bowl covers. That one's really interesting. Someone said trunk organizer. Just like what trunk organizer, right? Like there's got to be hundreds of thousands of trunk organizers. Okay, you mean like a car trunk organizer? That makes more sense. I was thinking like a storage trunk, like a little chest. This could work too, so we'll try to put that one in. Cool. All right. Well, there is a bunch of different things. I'm sure there's some people in here that we missed their things. That is okay, guys. We're only going to do a few here today. We're probably not even going to have time to do all of these, but I am going to show you how I do product research now. Are you ready? Here we go. First thing we're going to do is search for all of these products on Amazon. What I'm going to do here, guys, is search for the main product keyword. What is the main thing people will search for to find this product? Once you're on this page, you want to click on Jungle Scout. And let Jungle Scout do its magic. What Jungle Scout's doing here is it's pulling all sorts of data from every single product that came up on page 1 of this search term. Now, guys, I only care about page 1 because if I can rank my product on page 1, then I'm going to do pretty well with it. So don't go on to page 2. Don't click this button that says extract next page. All I want to do is page 1. I want to see how hard is it going to be for me to land on page 1 for this search term. So the category here is office products. So we're going to go ahead and, spoiler alert, office products. We're going to go ahead and the average price here is right here, $22.96. So that's the average price of the product selling on page 1. The average BSR is the average sales rank right here, so 17,206. The average number of reviews is 114. And the Amazon fees should actually be calculating automatically. I'll have to fix that for you guys later. But there is the Amazon fees as well. And that's all I'm going to do right now, guys. I don't want to go over to Alibaba yet. I want to research my products on Amazon. It is so much more time efficient to just do all of your Amazon research at once. So let's now look at Pop Socket. And I don't think this is going to be a winner, but we will research it. Let's go ahead and put it on. Jungle Scout's going to go through and do all of this. Cell phone and accessories. The average price is $6.86, which anyone who's been paying attention knows that that is the end of this product, because if it's selling for $6, and that's quite a distance away from 20. The average BSR is 393. The average number of views is 2166. And that is it for that product. Let's go look at inhalable vapes. Going to go ahead and research. These products are all over the place. So what I'm actually going to go do is look at the search results. And as we can see here, there's a bunch of things that I was not looking for. Like there's some type of supplement. There's a case. So I'm actually not looking for those. And there's just not a lot of products here in general. So I would actually go look for a different keyword now, like sleep aid, caffeine, energy. Let's look at one of those instead. So let's look at like inhalable sleep aid. This is obviously not what we are looking for. Let's look for inhalable sleep vape. So here's something. I just don't think this market is big enough for anyone to get into at this point. Like these products are not selling much at all, and these are there's 2 brands that I can find for these inhalable vapes, and they're just not selling well at all. This would not be something I would recommend for new Amazon sellers to go into. If you have like $1 million laying around and you can go launch a brand like this, the opportunity I see for products like this is actually like checkout counters and like gas stations and stuff. So I think this product could work, but it is not selling on Amazon. Could you go start this product and create sales on Amazon? Yeah, but it is so much more expensive to create sales than to just leverage existing sales. So if you're first starting off, this product is just not proven at all. It could be a great product. It really could be a great product. But it's a different type of business from what I'm talking about here. It's not you being able to launch a product and start making money quickly. This is like invest, a few $100,000 into a, traditional business launch sort of thing. So this product is a really interesting one, very different from anything we've brought up before on these calls. But I wouldn't recommend it for new Amazon sellers. Let's look at CBD oils. Yeah, Melissa said vape items are restricted in Amazon, and that would make sense. That's probably one of the reasons why that market is so limited. So let's look at CBD oil. I'm going to go ahead and search it. And it's actually CBD oil instead of oils. So let's see what comes up here. The category for this is mostly health. We're going to put health. The average price is $31.06. The average BSR is 8633, and the average reviews are 302. So that is that product. Let's look at the hand sewing machine. Go ahead and run Jungle Scout. All right, looks like this is in arts crafts. The average price is $18.59. The average BSR is 61232. The average number of views is 201. Let's look at silicone stretch bowl covers. Or silicone stretch lids, I guess, is the main keyword for this. Let's go ahead and run Jungle Scout here. As you can see, guys, this is like very mechanic. We're just getting data on a spreadsheet. After I get this data on the spreadsheet, then I'm going to go in and actually start asking myself questions. I'm not going to ask about these things yet. Like Peter just said, is the CBD oil R good then? I don't know yet. That's a question that would be a complete waste of time for me to answer at this point because I don't even have enough information to make that decision. So why would I waste my time with that question, right? So this is in kitchen and dining. The average price here is $12.22, which I can already tell you is too low. The average sales rank is 46127. The average number of reviews is 77, and that's that product. Let's give the last one here is the trunk organizer. Run Jungle Scout here. This product's going to be an automotive, I would assume. Wait for the average price to come in. Yeah, Peter said, I do sell CBD now for a company. That's why I'm asking. Oh, yeah, I was just using your question to make a point, Peter. So I am not at all offended, and hopefully you are not either. Trunk Organizer has a really good sales rank and 310 reviews. All right, cool. So we have just done some research. And what I can tell you now already is that these two are not going to work, right? The pop socket and the inhalable vape, neither of those would have worked. So we're going to take those two off. This leaves us, the silicone stretch lids are a little bit cheaper than I'd like to see, but I'm going to leave them on there. You can sell products at $12.22, right? But for your first product, I probably wouldn't. But I will leave that on here. And all of these products look good to go on to the next stage of the supply side research, looking at what can we actually get these products for from China. So let's go ahead and check it out. When I get on here, I'm going to search for the exact same things I did on Amazon. A lot of the times I'll actually bring up both search results side by side. And what I'm going to do here, guys, is just go through here and open up a few of these that I think I could sell well. So, looking at what's doing well here, there's a lot of these metal ones. I want to stand out, though. Like, ultimately, we want our listings to stand out, and we want our listings to rank high because, how Amazon works is someone already decided they wanted a wall file organizer, so they search for that, and then they're going to compare based on the pictures which one they want. So I'm typically going to look at pictures and say, okay, what do I think is going to sell well on page one of these search results? Well, this one's interesting. This one is like a straight up metal one. So I do want to talk to this supplier, perhaps. I'm going to open that. Here's another interesting one. This one I think is interesting. Cool. So I just opened up a bunch of cool ones here. Now what I'm going to do is go through and just quickly look at these prices and see what they're priced at to try to get an idea of what I could buy these products at. So here's $2 a piece, $6.50 a piece for this metal one, which I probably wouldn't do the metal one. So I'm going to take that one out. That's weird. $2.90 to $3.50 for this one. So $2 to $3.50 is the range I've seen so far. Here's $3. Here's $3. So we can probably assume that like $3 to $3.50 is what we're going to be able to get this product for. So let's go ahead and put that in. We'll put $3.50 for the worst case scenario, right? Let's put the worst case scenario in all of these, $3.50. The MOQ, guys, hopefully we'll have time to talk about MOQ today. Don't be intimidated by MOQ. Most suppliers do not even know what MOQ means. It is literally a box that they have to fill out on Alibaba. So a lot of times they just have no idea what it means. Sometimes suppliers will have actual MOQs, but like we have so many different ways to get around MOQ. So don't let MOQ be what holds you back here because MOQ is so easy to negotiate down. I'll actually show you a negotiation script here that you can use with suppliers. If I can get to it. So, I mean, what I'm doing here is, and this, you guys are going to get a simpler supplier template than this. This is like our high-end premium one. But what I'm doing here is positioning myself correctly to knock down any MOQ problems I might have. It's all about negotiating a large order with the understanding that your company policy says that there's going to be a test order and a sample order before that large bulk order. Probably more complex than we want to get into on this call, but that's how that works. And I just want to let you guys know, like, don't be afraid of MOQ because MOQ is pretty easy to knock down. So the MOQ on this, it looks like here's 1,000, here's 500, here's 2,000, here's 3,000. I think I could get 500 units of this pretty easy. I could probably get 100 of this pretty easy. So I'm just going to put 500 there. All right, so CBD oil is our next one here. And CBD oil may be something that we don't get from Alibaba. And let's look at what kind of CBD oil we have here. So always trying to find things that are going to do well. And most of this is hemp oil, as you can see. Stuff like this, I generally don't get from China. Anything that goes in or on the body, I'm typically not going to get from China. And this is actually hemp oil that we're looking at here. I would assume that CBD oil is probably pretty protected on Amazon. So we do have CBD oil here, and I'm sure we could get it. But honestly, I would probably source this product from somewhere else. For this type of product, what I would actually do is go into current bestsellers and work backwards to find who their manufacturers are. I'm assuming that I could find that out within a few minutes here. So yeah, manufactured for Serenity Hemp Company. So this is a U.S.-based supplier. We're not gonna have time to do that, but there are ways to find the supplier for this. So we're gonna cut this research short just because it's gonna take me more time to put the pricing information together on this. So this is not something you get from Alibaba. In general, guys, if it goes on or in the human body, I'm going to get it from outside of China. Let's look at the hand sewing machine. Hand sewing machine, I'm honestly not a huge fan of this product because it is so cheap. I guess this one's not too cheap, but all right, let's look at it. So here's one, and we know what we're looking for, right? We're looking for this handheld one that looks good in your hand, nice and mobile. So here's a bunch of them we just found. Here's one that's even a little stylized. So let's see what the prices are on these. $250 to $450, $2 to $290, $150 to $5, $150 to $4, 70 cents, $10. So I think if we put maybe $4.50, $5, that seems like a good range here. $4.50. So, and I'm always going to err towards the high end of that, as you guys will notice. Like, I'm really looking at what the high end prices are of all these different suppliers and working off of that number. Because, as you grow, you're going to get closer to this lower price. But when you're first starting out, you're going to be closer to that higher price. The MOQ for this is really low. Some people will sell less than 100. So I'm just going to put 100 for the MOQ here. All right, silicone stretch lids. So here are our silicone stretch lids. I do want to see what these look like over here. All right, let's take a look. Got a bunch of these things. All of these like little circular ones are really big. It looks like all of these are big. I can pretty much tell you already that this product's not going to be very good because of the pricing. Like 250, 365. This product only sells for $12.22. And after Amazon fees, you know, we're going to have $12.22 minus 367. We're going to have $8.55 of net revenue coming out of this thing. And if it's costing me $250 a unit just to buy the unit, it's probably going to cost me another $250 a unit to bring it over. Now I'm looking at, you know, just a buck or two of profit, if that. I at least want $5 of profit on anything I'm selling. So this product, I can tell you right now, is no good. The last one we'll look at here is Trunk Organizer. So here are different trunk organizers. We know that these plastic ones don't do well, so I wouldn't even touch these. This one looks like a winner. This one looks okay. So lots of interesting ones here. Excuse me. So lots of interesting ones here. We can see right here, this one is almost exactly the same as this first top seller here. So like I would be willing to bet large amounts of money that this supplier made this product. So this product is directly from this supplier. We know this pricing here. So so we should definitely be able to work backwards and see if these are good or not. Let's look at some of the pricing. Cheaper ones go for like $5.50 a piece for $2.60, $6. So we got a lot of those. And then we do have some high-end ones that are going for $7 or $8 a piece as well. So yeah, and here we can see another one from this exact manufacturer. So so some interesting things going on here. Let's go ahead and pop the data in though. The average price I'm seeing on these is like, you know, $5.50 for $2.60, but this one's not really what we're looking for. $6. It looks like it's going to be about $6, maybe $5.50. So let's go ahead and put $5.50 in. The MOQ on this, I can tell you just from buying products like this that they would accept like 100. But we do have a few people saying 500. Let's say 200. All right, cool. So guys, that is product research. That is how it's done. As you can see, a lot of it is just walking through it and thinking through it and looking at the data and thinking about if it's going to work for you or not. So from this stage, what I like to do is scroll over to the results column. The results column here is going to help you to really, really compare these things and see which situations, which products are going to be good for. So first thing I'm going to look at is operating margin. I want at least a 40% operating margin. And I see here that literally every single product we've researched today does have at least a 40% operating margin. So from a margin perspective, all of these products will work. And that's good to know. Like if you can't make money on the product, then that's going to fail. But all of these products are profitable. We could start selling these profitably right now. So the question just becomes, which one do we want to sell? Next thing I'm going to look at is profit per unit. I typically want at least $8 profit per unit. Like I said before, as you start to grow, you might be willing to accept like $5 profit per unit. But when you're first starting out, try to end up above $8 profit per unit. And that means that every single unit you sell, you're putting $10 in your pocket, right? All of the profit per unit specs on these products pass that test as well. So good to see. Oh, and I'm sorry, the silicone stretch lids and the CBD oil we actually need to take out here because I forgot we did not do the supply side research on those because we dropped those products. So I'm actually going to take those out here. Back over to the results. So like I said, all of these pass the profit per unit test. The next thing I'm going to look at is launch difficulty score. The launch difficulty score is very important because it shows you how likely you are to rank on the first page of that product. The launch difficulty score basically tells you how hard is it going to be for you to own this market. It is a custom algorithm that I've developed over many years. To what it's doing is balancing out what the BSR means, how many units are being sold per day in this category. It balances that and compares it with the average reviews to show you where your biggest opportunity is. Because if there's a product out there that's selling 200 units a day and it only has 10 reviews, well, that shows that a product is early in the life cycle and it's ripe for you to go in and own it. Whereas if we're going into a market where it's selling 1 unit a day and there's 20,000 reviews on the first page, well, obviously that's a market we can't really touch. Who knows what that market is? Maybe people are buying Pampers and Huggies diapers, right? So the launch difficulty score kind of shows you how easy it's going to be for you to break into this market. And all of these products are pretty similar. The winner in all three of these categories is the wall file organizer. The wall file organizer is actually a killer product. It is ranked 17206. What does that actually mean? Well, 17206 in the office products category, let's go look. Where is office? Here's office products. So this is sales rank 17206. 17206. So this is selling about 6 units a day right now. 6 units a day, anywhere from 3 to 6 units a day, you could say. So 3 to 6 units a day. Let's say 5 units a day. So 5 units a day times how much money do we actually make with this product? $12.57. So just launching this product alone is going to make you $63 in pure profit every single day. Extrapolate that out across the year, and you're looking at $23,000 in profit just from this one product alone. And again, the way Amazon works, guys, is it's not like every new product is just living on its own, right? If I have a second product in my product line, Amazon is going to start to recommend my products to previous customers that have bought my other products, right? So what I've seen is that with each additional product that you add into your product line, you're typically going to bump up sales anywhere from 15 to 40% across your entire catalog. So we're not just getting sales from search results, right? We're not just getting sales from people searching for wall file organizer, but when we first start out and we only have one product, that's pretty much the only way people are going to find our product. That and some PPC. So keep that in mind. Your first product, your beachhead product, has to be that much better, because once you start to expand out from the wall file organizer, right? Like let's see, Metro Decor here. So Metro Decor probably has a whole bunch of different products in their product line now, but they started off with this wall file organizer. Well, now they have all sorts of stuff, right? And now they have all these different ways that Amazon is out there selling products for them every day, recommending products, doing Facebook ads and all sorts of stuff. Amazon does that all for them and drives them sales every single day. So guys, that's product research. As we can see here, the wall file organizer, by far above and away the winner of today's research. That is a product I would feel perfectly comfortable like going and doing today. Like someone on this call should go do wall file organizers. That is a good product. All right, guys. So let me recover from my 45 minutes of straight talking. I'm going to quickly grab a drink of coffee, look at the question marks really quick, and then we'll get back into the presentation. Next, we're going to talk about how to actually source these products, how to talk to suppliers and things like that. And that's probably going to have time for just a little bit more after that. So good stuff. Carol said, I have to break away for a few minutes. My daughter is up and unhappy. That is the only thing higher priority, I guess. Unhappy kids. What is a good launch difficulty score? Great question. So a good launch difficulty score is under 50. I love to see launch difficulty scores under 50, but really the lower the better. You know, it's not, again, if you're trying to think about what is a good launch difficulty score, you're thinking about the spreadsheet the wrong way. It is a comparison engine. It is there to literally create a comparison model for you to go through and compare things to find the best opportunity. If you think that there's a spreadsheet out there that will magically tell you if you're going to be successful or not, that someone's lying to you. Someone's trying to sell you something. Because yeah, I mean, this launch, the spreadsheet that I've made is about building comparison models to find the highest likelihood of success in your products. So that's what that's all about. All right, I'm gonna grab some coffee here, and man, I will tell you what, just talking up a storm. My back is killing me. All right, let's get into it, guys. How to source your products. So we have actually already gone through and done some of this. When we are going through to actually do the research to find the pricing on suppliers, we've already started this process. So first things first is to go on Alibaba and just search for that main product keyword. Alibaba and AliExpress are pretty much the only two places I'm going to look. There's tons of other sites out there, guys. Just use Alibaba and AliExpress. Don't use any other ones. And let's just leave it at that. I don't want to see anyone emailing me in 2 months telling me that you've used something else than Alibaba and AliExpress and you got scammed, because that's what happens outside of Alibaba and AliExpress. So use Alibaba and AliExpress. Don't get scammed. When you're just starting out, just use Alibaba and AliExpress. Once you get experience in this business, you can figure out how to protect your purchases from other platforms. But Alibaba and AliExpress are super safe, and new people should use those. Look for gold suppliers with transactions. Like I said, we've already actually started doing product research. Oops. If we go to Alibaba and we search for, what were we doing? The wall file organizer. We've already actually started to do product research. So the first thing I'm going to do is gold supplier. I only want to see gold suppliers. I always look at how many years has this person been a gold supplier. Anyone could be a 1-year gold supplier, but to be like a 5-year gold supplier, that means that this person has not ripped anyone off on Alibaba in the entire 5 years it's been on the platform. If they ever did rip anyone off, they would get kicked off and they would lose their gold supplier status. So I'm always going to look at gold supplier first. I'm always looking at transaction levels as well. I like to see high transaction levels. That's really the only two things I'm looking at. So what I'm going to do here, guys, is go through, look for products that I could sell, look for high transactions, look for lots of little diamonds right here, and look for a gold supplier with a lot of years. And then I'm going to go through, and anyone that I like, I'm going to click add to compare. And so here's 200,000, 1 year. That's okay. He's got 200,000 hours in transactions. Add to compare. This one does not have any transactions available. It does have some that you just can't see, and a 1-year gold supplier. I'm not a huge fan of this one, so let's stay out of that one. 180, 10-year, add to compare. 60,000, 8-year, add to compare. Cool product, 200,000, 2-year, add to compare. So this is literally all I'm doing, guys. 1.1 million, 4 years, cool product, add to compare. Once you have put together a good list of 5 to 20 suppliers, what you're going to want to do is click this compare thing right here. This is going to allow you to look at all of the different features of these suppliers, but don't depend on any of this because, again, the internet's a very different thing in China. So what I'm typically going to do is not even look at this really, but I'm going to go click contact supplier. What this is going to allow you to do is send the same message to every single one of those suppliers you just saw. Steve is going to give you in the question box right now a really good negotiation template that you can send out to your suppliers. You can just copy and paste that and use that. By the way, guys, yes, I'm aware I'm talking very quickly now. I want to make sure you guys actually get enough to go build this business today, and we literally have just a few minutes left. So I have a really good negotiation script that I just showed you guys earlier. Steve just dropped the negotiation script for you guys into the question box. I'll give you a really quick rundown of what mine looks like because it is different from the one I just gave you. Here's mine. Hi, my name is Will Mitchell. I'm the purchasing agent. Never the boss. Never the boss. I'm the purchasing agent. We're a type of company operating in USA. My boss asked me to source this product since we're having a great success with a similar product. We thought your product would be perfect. Include a link to the product you're talking about. You have to be very deliberate in how you talk to Chinese people. So do it with pictures, like eliminate the language barrier and use pictures and links and things like that. If you're able to manufacture this product for our company, please email me at this. So I put my email or my Skype. I do not want them to reply to me within Alibaba. This is the first test of a supplier, and it's saying, hey, can you even follow directions to the point where you could just email me and Skype me and not just reply to this message with some canned response? Then I go through a few different questions I won't really be able to go over here today. But like I said, I'm always negotiating the larger order first with the assumption that there's our company policy says test order, sample order right before that. So that is reaching out to suppliers. Like I said, you guys don't put a lot of faith in the pricing and MOQ information that is listed on Alibaba. It is wildly inaccurate. What you have to do is reach out to 5 or 10 different suppliers and ask for pricing details. They will give you the current pricing on all of these things so that you will then know what is a good price and what is a bad price. Without talking to 5 to 10 suppliers, there's no way for you to know if you have a good price or a bad price. In the same way that we have to build a comparison model for product selection, we have to build a comparison model for supplier selection as well. You do not know what a good price is or what a bad price is until you go ask people. So go ask a lot of people for pricing details. They'll send it all back to you, and from that, you make your decision. When you do make your decision and pull the trigger, don't overthink it. Like there's tons of suppliers for every single product out there. I see so many people that get to this stage and then they just never take action and they just go back to work and they continue on the rat race because they were too scared to, put $50 into a product. It's really fun to do this as well, guys. Like the first time you get a product from China and you go to sell that product, it is invigorating. It is inspiring. So don't wait. Don't wait. Just good life advice in general. Don't wait for anything. You have to go out there and own it. You have to go out there and make it happen. So if you go out and you do all this research and you go talk to suppliers, like pull the freaking trigger and buy some samples and get the ball rolling, because the data changes every day. The product that you think is going to be successful today probably will be. But the question is, will it be your product or is it going to be someone else's that you're all pissed about saying, oh, I thought of that first? Get out there and actually make this stuff happen. It's very low risk. This is a very low risk business. All right, guys, what time is it? Like in a trance here. All right, so we're about to hit our 2-hour mark. I am going to skip some of this stuff here. Cool. Yeah, so guys, awesome businesses here. Private labeling, e-commerce, Amazon, all of this stuff is, you got 5 or 6 different business trends that are converging right now to create one of the biggest startup opportunities in human history. It's not just Amazon, right? It's so many different things playing into this one huge opportunity for you guys. So I think it's clear to pretty much everyone here that the opportunity is there. The opportunity is pretty easy to take advantage of. You just have to decide to do it. Like, guys, this is one of the simplest businesses in existence. Buying and reselling products, this has been happening for 10, 20,000 years, right? So it is a simple business model. It is a safe business model. It's not like Facebook ads where if you screw up, all the money's just gone. Like, we're buying physical products here, guys. So the worst case scenario is you discount your product and sell it for a little bit less than you wanted to. So it's a very simple business. It's a very safe business. And just, by chance, like Amazon came out with the Amazon FBA and has completely revolutionized this industry again. So a old school business model that's being revitalized and made new through e-commerce and Amazon. I'm a huge believer that every single person here can go do this for themselves. It is very simple. Like I said, it's not easy. Like you're going to have to go put in some hard work. You're going to have to put some effort in. You're going to have some frustration in the learning curve. But ultimately, this is one of the simplest business models for new entrepreneurs to get out there and start right now, today. How long is this going to last? I don't know. Let's wait to see how much longer retail takes to die, right? Macy's is going to go out of business. JCPenney's is going to go out of business. Sears is going to go out of business. All of these big retailers are going, guys. So, yeah, this is a big business already. It's got a long way to go. Here's a really interesting stat, right? What percentage of sales are online? Let's see. So here is percentage of total retail sales. We can see that in 2016, e-commerce was about 10.5% of total retail sales. 10.5%. So, so I think it's very clear. Where is it? Online sales representing 11.7% of total sales versus 8.1% reported by the Commerce Department. So two conflicting things here, but the Commerce Department says that it's under 10%, and Internet Retailer here says it's just over 10%. So guys, this is going to get at least 10 times bigger. This number, every single kid being born today in 2018, I promise you, they're not like waiting to grow up and go shop retail. They're not going into retail stores. They're never going into retail stores. So online sales right now account for 10% of retail sales. Online sales are 10% of retail sales. Obviously, this is going to go closer to 100%, but it's going to be like over 10 years. So for the next 10 years, you're going to see e-commerce and this transition from retail into e-commerce define the growth of our economy. So it's up to you if you want to get involved or not, because the pie is being baked, and it's a good pie. Something you can get going on right now. Please remember, guys, as you're going out there and actually applying this stuff to transform your life and your business, this is not just a theory. This is exactly what I have done for my entire professional career. Since I have dropped out of school, this business model is what allowed me to drop out, to escape the 9-to-5, to not have a high school diploma, to never go to college, and to live every single day of my life as I wanted to as an entrepreneur, because I cracked the code of this business model. And what's crazy is it is such a bigger opportunity now. It is a huge opportunity now, whereas in 2002, I was like struggling to sell a few purses and airsoft guns. Now you can go out there and build a multi-million-dollar business in a matter of months on Amazon and have them handle all of your shipping and inventory. It's crazy. These are the exact methods that all the top e-commerce entrepreneurs in the world are using right now. Guys, we have helped, or I have helped, I guess, over 6,000 people build these exact businesses successfully, cash flow generating, 6,000 right now out there in the world. So what's it all about? Why get involved at all? Obviously, like no one, if you think that you are here to make money, you are in for a rude awakening when you become a millionaire. There is nothing more sad in the life of a business person than the day they make $1 million, because they lose all of their meaning in life. They completely lose their way and they don't know what to do next. They've hit their goal and now they don't know what to do. Life is now meaningless. So to me, this is all about having fun building a business that allows you to be free. I don't think anyone's here for money. I think people are here for freedom. I think people are here for control. And I think people are here because they'd like to enjoy their life a little bit better. That's what entrepreneurship's really about. There's this common misconception that entrepreneurship is all about getting rich and driving Lamborghinis and stuff like that. But that is not what it's about. It is about controlling your own life and your own destiny. So that's what this is about, is, staking that claim to your own life and your own destiny and saying, I am now in control of my future, and making it happen for yourself and having fun while you do it, right? So much more fun to build something like that. Having a side business that makes true passive income. I know a lot of people here are stuck, right? A lot of people here are stuck in the 9-to-5, but they're just not getting as far as they want. They want a little bit of extra side income. They want to take that vacation with the family. They want to, do whatever it is, buy the extra toy, put it in the pool, whatever. This is a great business for a passive income stream. Excuse me. The reason why this is such a good business for passive income is because once you get a product up and selling on Amazon, there's no additional work that needs to happen. Once I have a product up and selling on Amazon, that's it. It's going to sell products day in and day out, And when the inventory gets low, there's going to be an email that gets sent out to my supplier to replenish the inventory in Amazon. So it's truly automated passive income once I get a product up on Amazon. Yes, there is work that goes into actually coming up with the product and putting the product up there. Once the product is up there, it sells, it sells, it sells, it sells, and Amazon is just going to automatically replenish the inventory with your supplier once your inventory runs low. So true passive income here. And obviously, I think the right move is to get that product up, get it automated, and then go launch more products. I think that's the right move. But I know a lot of people just want one or two products that make them an extra 1,000 or two a year or a month. So that's perfectly fine too. Perfect business from a passive income perspective because it doesn't shrink when you stop working on it. Most businesses will shrink if you stop working on it. This business, Amazon knows you're going to sell that product, so they're just going to keep on sending buyers to your pages. And I know a lot of people do want to make money, so that's fine too. A lot of you are trying to get on the pathway to becoming a millionaire and all that. That's perfectly fine too. This business model is absolutely can do that for you. I think once you hit your riches, once you hit your number, you're going to see too that you're not really in it for the money. You're in it for the freedom, for the fun, for the control. But I know a lot of people here want money too. So this is certainly a good business from that perspective as well. Very different from most internet marketing schemes you're going to see out there today because this is a real business. Again, like guys, we went and bought an e-commerce company for $2 million to get started in this industry again. So people buy these businesses all the time. You're building real cash flow generating assets and real customer lists that you're going to be able to go out there and sell one day if you want to. So these are real businesses. So I'm not sure why exactly you showed up here today. Maybe because you're fed up with your current job and you want to get out of the rat race and start to really have control over your own life and your own time. I know a lot of you guys have already started e-commerce businesses and you're just completely overwhelmed by everything that needs to be done. E-commerce is definitely like the definition of a black hole of business, right? When you're getting involved in e-commerce, if you don't know what to look for, what matters, what doesn't matter, you will just find yourself endlessly Googling things and never taking action. So I know a lot of you are here today for that exact reason. You are probably already started to try this business and tried to start this business, and you're just completely overwhelmed by everything that needs to be done. You don't know what matters, what doesn't, when you should focus on what, and obviously that's where most people waste their time. Most people never build businesses because they just sit there and research the business for years on end. And by the time they finally feel comfortable to do something about it, the opportunity's been gone for 10 years, right? I know a lot of you guys are already rocking in this business and you just want to scale it up faster. That's perfectly fine too. Amazon is changing faster than ever. So if you want to scale this business up quickly, there are so many new opportunities for you to just pour more fuel on the fire and just blow this thing out of the water. So I hope you get this one thing, guys. I have cracked the code on finding hot products and building successful brands online. It's changed my world and allowed me to do everything I've wanted ever since. I have 6,000 students that I've done this with as well. Very much a replicable system, as proven by the fact that 6,000 people have gone and used this exact system to build their own e-commerce businesses. And you can make a lot of money doing this and create the freedom you want in a relatively short amount of time. Guys, this isn't some get-rich-quick scheme, but this shouldn't take you longer than 90 days. If you are doing this for longer than 90 days and you don't have real daily profits to show for it, then you have created the business incorrectly. Again, this isn't some SpaceX startup or something. This is a dead simple business. This is one of the simplest businesses ever made. It's been going on for 20, 30,000 years. This is like where business started. So holy cow, is this simple. And yeah, you can create a lot of money and freedom doing this, but like 90 days is the limit for me. Like if you guys take longer than 90 days to do this, you have not built the business correctly. There's clearly like major inefficiencies and problems in the structure of your company. So if you do this correctly, like now, guys, I can go launch brands like in a weekend. We literally just launched a brand in a weekend a couple weeks ago. So now we just like get together and launch brands. It's freaking easy for us to do because we know what we're doing. It's just the same system, plug in different variables, right? So such a simple business to create, such a powerful business to create, and it should not take you longer than 90 days. If it takes you longer than 90 days, you know you've done a lot of things wrong. So what happens next? How can you apply this battle-tested strategy to build your own e-commerce empire? Obviously, you guys have option one, and that's what most people are going to do here today. You can take what you've learned and keep trying to do everything yourself. You can fail your way to success and, pay the tuition of hard knocks, as they say, and just lose money to learn the business, which is what I did. Obviously, this is more expensive and it's going to take longer. Like, it took me many years to figure out this business because I refused to allow anyone to help me. I had to figure everything out on my own. So that's what most people are going to do. And entrepreneurs are inherently rebellious. Entrepreneurs are inherently independent. We want to be self-reliant. We want to be independent. So I know a lot of people here today are going to go do this on their own. Some of you are going to make it. Most of you aren't. But I wish you the best of luck. I truly do. And keep us updated on your success. Now, for those of you that want to go with option two and you want me to personally help you launch your own business over the next 9 weeks, this is me actually hand-holding and taking you through the entire process from the ground up. And that is a program that we have been developing for a very long time now. Like I said, we've had this program since 2014. It is the largest, most comprehensive community of e-commerce entrepreneurs out there. So what's it actually going to look like, though, right? Over the last few years, I personally worked with just about 7,000 now. It's over 6,000 to build 6,000 clients to build successful e-commerce brands. This is everyone from new entrepreneurs trying to make some side income. We have multiple clients that we've actually gotten on Shark Tank now. We have people that have actually won the Shopify Build a Business competition. So some of the most innovative e-commerce companies in the world are getting started with e-commerce empire. There are clients through these coaching companies, or through coaching these companies. There's a lot of common patterns here, guys. There's like common pitfalls you're going to fall into. There's keys to success. So what I've done is I've taken everything I've learned from my 16 years in e-commerce. I've taken everything from my own experiences as well as everything from all of these other companies we built and helped build in e-commerce empire. We've taken this all and wrapped it in a pretty little bow. We have a 90-day action plan, a 90-day execution plan, and that execution plan and that system is called e-commerce empire. This is our flagship training course. It is by far the best training course for e-commerce entrepreneurs out there, and I will show you around it over the next few minutes, and you'll see for yourself. It is just way above and beyond anything else you're going to see out there. Here's basically what we're trying to do with e-commerce empire, right? Everything in life should be as simple as possible, but not simpler. This course is not me drowning you in information. Guys, I have been in this industry since I was 12 years old. So I have done tons of courses. Most courses out there are the person trying to convince you of how smart they are and build up their ego and say, look how cool I am. That is not what our program is. We are going to give you the least amount of information possible for you to take the next step and to hit that next milestone. Our program, we've been working on this since 2014 and consistently updating it and retooling it and adding things to it, because what it's all about, guys, is you taking the right actions at the right time. If you start trying to think about things that you shouldn't be thinking about, you're never going to build the business, right? If you haven't even ordered a product yet and you're sitting there thinking about, well, how does, insurance work or something, you're not going to build the business. So our program is all about a literal step-by-step process for you to go from nothing to having a sustainable cash flow generating e-commerce business within 90 days. And it shouldn't take a day longer than that. So we're personally going to take you by the hand, help you to find that killer product, turn it into a winning brand, and launch your e-commerce empire, turn it into a 5 to 10 product line quickly. No ambiguity or confusion. There's no here's my special little method or anything. This is just straight up how it is done. This is a comprehensive program, step-by-step, action plans and milestones for you to build this business from scratch. It's going to help you to navigate down that treacherous mountain of e-commerce with a group of mentors in front of you and a lot of friends doing it alongside of you. And it helps you avoid what most people do, which is just jump off the mountain. They see an opportunity, they take the leap, and they hope it figures itself out on the way down, right? Most of the time it doesn't, but like I said, some people are going to go out there and be successful without the program. That's perfectly fine. Keep us in the loop. So here's what you're getting in the program, guys. The first thing is obviously the step-by-step video training course. I'm gonna really speed through this, guys. Before I go into this, this is by far the most comprehensive Amazon e-commerce training program online today. We've actually just rolled out all of the new updates for 2018 to this program. So just be aware that I'm going to tell you about this program, but it is massive. This is like the hub of Amazon and e-commerce entrepreneurs now on the internet. So there is a lot. There is a lot here. But let me take you through some of the main attractions. Obviously, the step-by-step video training course is going to be one of the first things. This is a 8-module training program, all milestone-driven and action-oriented, constantly updated. I just rolled out the 2018 updates within the last 2 months. So this is a fresh program built for 2018. And it is filled with all sorts of goodies, tools, action items, checklist, everything to keep you laser focused during your journey. And again, this is all optimized around the success of over 6,000 alumni students that have gone through, over 6,000 have gone through and successfully built these businesses. Okay, so we consistently go through and we say, what is creating success in our students? What are the successful students doing that the unsuccessful students aren't doing? And we're constantly updating and optimizing this program around those success metrics. So it is an awesome program. Like I said, it's updated 2x per year, so you're always on the cutting edge. You are getting lifetime access to it. There's no extra fees for the new versions or anything. So for instance, we started this in 2014. Even our members from 2014, they just got access to the 2018 updates as well. So, you know, one-time cost, you are in for life. You get all those updates, 2x per year. Because, guys, Amazon is changing so quickly, it blows my mind every day. They're growing so quickly that they change rapidly. So if you don't have a program that's being updated consistently, you're going to fall behind. So what is actually covered in there? And guys, I don't want to take you through like this whole thing, so I'm just gonna like breeze through this. But it's an 8-module course, and it goes through everything from sourcing, selecting products, gives you all these scripts and tools and stuff. So many more than what we've talked about here today. High converting product listings, how to build a brand, launching your product on Amazon, advertising, PPC, product line expansion, sales channel expansion, literally everywhere. I mean, this is the Amazon program. The second thing we're going to throw in is our private coaching community. You do get lifetime access to the private coaching community. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about this because I'll actually jump in and show you in a few minutes, and we can take a tour around our community and we'll see what people are talking about here today. Holy cow, my voice is killing me. So again, what you're getting, step-by-step video training, the private coaching community. We do have a couple extra things here. My personal set of tools and templates. You guys are getting all sorts of incredible things that you can just copy and paste and use in your business instantly, such as my Amazon email follow-up templates, my entire review funnel, landing pages you guys get, product insert templates, promotional inserts, legal contracts, agreements, brand building. Like here's a spreadsheet that helps you keep track of and compare suppliers. There's a brand building workbook that helps you, list demographic, all sorts of stuff, guys. It is a comprehensive program. We do have something that no one else has. Now, everyone's starting to copy us now that we have this, but we do have a VIP discount database. So what we do is we actually go and negotiate custom deals for you guys with every piece of e-commerce software out there to make sure that you literally have cheaper access to every single tool out there than anyone else in the industry. So just this alone pays off the cost of the program for actual Amazon sellers that are really selling and using these tools. So if you're a current Amazon seller, you're probably looking at this and pulling out your calculator and saying, wait a second, I'll just buy the VIP discounts. Because, yeah, these are way cheaper than anything else you can get anywhere else. So that is all of that, the step-by-step video training, the private coaching community, my personal database of tools and templates, as well as the VIP discount database. We do have some bonuses I'm going to throw in here today. One of them is all of our VIP coaching sessions. So literally every single VIP coaching session we have, you're going to get access to. This covers so much, it's going to blow your mind. Bookkeeping and accounting for Amazon sellers. LLC setup for foreign Amazon sellers. Optimal business structure and LLC setup for US-based Amazon sellers. Creating and optimizing high-converting product listings. How to get ungated and approved and sell in any major Amazon category. how to handle refunds, returns, and reimbursements in Amazon, how to outsource products or outsource and automate simple pieces of your Amazon business, how to drive 5-star reviews, how to protect your account. So many of these things. And what we do here, guys, is we pull in like my mentors and people that I go to for advice, and we have them give you super high level behind the scenes insight on these things. Like each one of these things is a course in and of itself. So you guys are going to access to like 40 of these things, and I'll show you these in a second as well. Hugely valuable. Here's just a few of the guests that we've had on here. Again, I'm not going to spend too much time with this just because I know a lot of people are waiting to get in. You don't want to know the experts. You want to go in and listen to the experts. So the other bonus that we're going to throw in here today that we actually shouldn't have thrown in, but I did not change the slides here, so you guys are going to get it. You guys are also going to get unlimited access to our weekly training calls. Every single week, I get on the phone with you guys and I do a training call. These are every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. So the next one's going to be tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. And you guys are going to have unlimited access to these. These are high level, behind the scenes, what is working now in our businesses. Here's our live training area right here. So as you can see, we bring in, here, this one, for instance, is a case study. So we brought someone in that started off at zero and now does over $1 million a year on Amazon using some very sophisticated tactics that, I didn't even know about some of these tactics. So very interesting session here. We do just open Q&A coaching week sometimes. So like last week was a coaching week. It was just open Q&A. Here is branding, how to add wholesale products to your Amazon catalog. A lot of our, like, private label is how you're going to build a business, guys. Private label is where the margin's at. But a lot of private label sellers like to just add some wholesale products in just to flesh out their catalog. So we did a whole session on how to do that. Here's another case study. Here's a person that actually lives in China and deals with manufacturers over there. So, I mean, it's every week, guys, we're doing extremely high-level training and coaching. You guys are going to get access to this every single week forever, unlimited access. So for the entirety of the time that we are doing these coaching calls, you are going to get access to them, live access. So not replay. You're on there live with us. You're able to ask me questions. You're able to ask my team questions. You're able to ask the guest questions. And each one of these sessions is usually about 2 to 2.5 hours long. So every single week, we're going to have a coaching session and make sure that you're actually, progressing through this program at the rate you should be. So again, guys, you're getting the step-by-step video training, the unlimited access to the private coaching community. With the step-by-step video training too, you're getting unlimited access to all the future updates as well. So unlimited lifetime access to that, unlimited lifetime access to the private coaching community, my personal database of tools and templates that you can literally just copy and paste and swipe and put into your business. Over 50 exclusive VIP discounts for all the top tools you're going to need to run this business. And those bonuses are the 60 different VIP coaching sessions that are all super enlightening, as well as the ongoing live GSD Power Hour training sessions, which you guys are going to get unlimited access to for the entirety of those. And holy cow, guys, we're going to have to wrap up soon because I don't think my voice is going to make it much longer. This is all covered by a 90-day money-back guarantee. I literally called my bank and said, what is the longest possible money-back guarantee I can give people? And this is what they allowed me to do. This is the longest that any bank will do. 90-day money-back guarantee. Guys, obviously, I know that e-commerce empire sounds awesome. To some people, it probably sounds too good to be true, right? But the thing is, we've been building this thing since 2014. So yes, it is way better than anything else out there. And I understand that when you're on a webinar like this and things sound really good, red flags go up and you're like, man, this sounds too good to be true. Well, guys, we have an absolutely unconditional, no questions asked money back guarantee. If you do not see the success that you want in the first 90 days, in the first 3 months of the program, then I want you to ask for a refund. I don't want to keep your money if you don't get the results you want out of this program. Guys, I don't do this internet marketing thing. I don't do this online education thing to get rich quick, right? I do it because it is what makes me happy. I like hanging out with entrepreneurs. I like building businesses. This is how I want to change the world. So I'm not desperate for your cash or anything. If you don't like the program, if you don't like my voice, I don't care what it is. I'd rather you think highly of me than me keep your money. So email anyone on my team and just say the word refund, and we're going to instantly process a refund for you. There's no questions asked. There's no hoops to jump through. There's no screenshots. There's nothing like that. It is just instant refunds. Guys, you can go all over the internet and look up, Startup Bros reviews. Again, we've been doing this for a very, very long time now. So if we let's look at like Facebook, right? We've been doing this for so long. If there was anyone out there that was unhappy with us, you would have heard of them by now. So even on our Facebook page, right, we have 38 reviews over the past 4 years, and it looks like we got a 3-star and a 4-star at one point. So it looks like someone didn't like an email I sent out that said, update, I attended the webinar, and there were a few takeaway points which can be applied. Thanks for using my post in your presentation. So again, the worst review we've ever gotten was by someone that really liked the webinar after they saw it. But in terms of people that actually take our program, like guys, I implore you, I really recommend, if you have any reservations, go out and look this stuff up for yourself. Go read all of these things. We are the best in the industry, and that's not changing anytime soon. Like, our reputation matters more than anything else, and that's why we have crazy money back guarantees like this. So all the risk is on me here, guys. You got 90 days to give this business a real shot. See if you can change your life with it. And if you can't, or if you just make a few $1,000 and you weren't happy with the results, then you just get a refund, right? Like, seriously, open up Google Calendar right now, and 89 days from now, put, do I want a refund on ECommerce Empire, right? That's what this is there for, guys. I started business when I was 12 years old. Trust me, I've used a lot of 30-day money-back guarantees. So this is the best possible one I can give you guys, and I fully expect people to use and abuse the 90-day money-back guarantee. Perfectly fine. Huge results, guys. I don't want to take you through all this. So after, I'm going to let you guys into the program, and then I'm going to go through and we can go look at all the crazy testimonials and results and case studies and all the people in the reviews and people having success. So I do want to let you guys in first, because I got to respect your time and make sure you have the opportunity to get in ECommerce Empire. So most e-commerce courses going for at least $2,000 right now. I've charged $5,000 to teach this one-on-one and could not keep up. Literally, guys, you Google import from China, Will Mitchell comes up. So I no matter what the charge was, I could not do this one-on-one anymore. I was literally getting like 500 emails a day about this at one point. So I can't teach this one-on-one. Will not happen. Cost me much more than $10,000 and many thousands of hours to learn this business model for myself. Most of our coaches and our guests that we bring in are very, very high level. Our highest client, or our most successful client of all time, a guy named Kevin Schlechter, has made over $60 million with this business. Obviously, those results are nowhere near typical, but just goes to show you, guys, there's no real limit to how big this business can get, right? Like, Apple is selling physical products, Fitbit selling physical products. So these businesses have no limit. This is all about starting this business and getting it to $1 million of gross revenue per year. And after that, like, the sky's the limit. So what's it going to cost you to get in here and actually build this business for yourself? You know me, guys, not $10,000, not $5,000. So a program usually goes for $29.97, but we are going to give you guys a pretty significant live attendee discount here today. So just for being here live and sticking through to the very end of this call, which is impressive, and over half of you that started this call stuck through to the end. So an impressive group of people here. And I look forward to working with all you guys. So if you guys want to work together, we are going to extend this 50% off discount on the Jumpstart program, the ECommerce Empire program. So guys, the coupon code for that is live50. All you have to do, and guys, that's going to be good. I put for the next 48 hours here. We're going to extend that, though. I want to give you guys some extra time to think about this. So we're gonna accept this. And Steve, let's make sure we log in and change the time and everything. But we'll have this expire literally on midnight on Friday. So you guys will have up until this weekend to decide if you want to jump in or not. And the Live 50 coupon code is going to be active until Friday night. So, guys, that's it. So let's go ahead and get started, guys. Just go to startupbros.com/empire. That's going to take you to the page to reserve your spot in E-commerce Empire. So just fill out all your info. You're going to see this nice big green button, and that button will give you instant access to E-commerce Empire. Guys, this is a fully fleshed out program. You're getting instant access to everything right now. We are not the type of people that are going to hold things back from you or anything like that. So you're getting instant access to everything, and you can literally just jump in and get started right now. Literally, just in the last 3 weeks, guys, we just finished up the 2018 updates for this. So this program is so good right now. Like most of the information you're going to see in this program literally is not available anywhere else. Literally is not available anywhere else. Like for instance, there's one module in here, in module 3 on how to actually source products with suppliers and things like that. In here, I have a list of all these different exotic negotiation things you can do. And these are things that I have literally never seen anywhere else in my life, guys. These are like things I developed over 15 years in the industry, like how to get free samples. Everyone wants to know how to get free samples. No one knows how to do it. It's right here. No, there's no blog post out there that'll tell you. There's no podcast. There's no YouTube video. The stuff that you see in this program is going to take another 6 to 12 months to get pushed down to blogs and podcasts and things like that, because that's how it works, guys. We come up with really good strategies for our clients, and then over the next year or two, they'll start to get distributed out to blogs and to Reddit and all these different places. So this is the hub. This is the real deal. And for those of you who are ready to actually build this business right and quickly, this is there and available for you. So again, guys, startupbros.com/empire. I'll just show you how to do it really quickly, and then we'll jump into the Q&A and everything. Startupbros.com/empire is going to take you to this page. Just put in your name, your email. I don't need your address. I don't know why everyone asks for your address. It is not even necessary. So I'm not going to mail you anything. So I don't need your address. Make sure you put in the Live 50 coupon code, though, guys, because as you can see, the prices are going to get cut in half once you put the Live 50 coupon code in. And it's also going to redeem all those bonuses. The Live 50 coupon code is how we tell who gets unlimited access to the weekly coaching calls as well. So make sure you use the Live 50 coupon code both to secure that discount and to redeem those bonuses. As you can see here, guys, we have a one-time installment or a 5-time installment. So you can get started with this business, instant access. And again, I don't drip feed this out or anything. You get the whole freaking course on day one, and you get to go through at your own pace and make this business happen. You can get started today for under $374. Under $374. This is protected by a 90-day, a 3-month money-back guarantee with no questions asked. 3-month. And guys, I can't give you any other, like, that's all I can do for you, right? I've given you everything I can to start this business and change your life. There's a 5-time installment plan. So you can literally pay off the cost of the program by the time this installment plan comes due. It's protected by a 3-month guarantee. So for 3 months, you can try this business and see if it's going to work for you. If not, let's get a refund, because I don't want you being mad at me. If you're not extremely happy with the program, I would rather you get a refund, because my reputation is more important to me than a couple $100 here and there. You can select between PayPal or credit, whichever one you want. And the final thing I'll mention here, guys, is we do have this guest access pass. If you have a friend, a family member, a business partner, anything like that wants to do this with you, and you want them to have their own access to the program and the community and the coaching calls and all of that, well, the guest access pass allows you to add a guest onto your account for an extremely low price, and that gives them their own account, their own full access account that they can then go through the program as well. So guys, that is it. That is all I got for you. You do have our email address and our phone number here, 866-642-6669. Feel free to give us a call. Obviously, we're on a webinar right now, so we'll return the voicemail right after. Bros@startupbros.com is our email. And guys, the best way to get in touch with us is actually this chat box right down here. So feel free on startupbros.com/empire. You can actually go down and see the question box on the bottom right. This is a live chat box, so you can literally start chatting with me and Steve right now. And with that, guys, I think that is actually it. I think that's actually it. And we're only 2 minutes over. I had a 5:30 cutoff for everything here, and we almost got it. So, guys, we're going to stick around for any additional questions. We do have a hard cutoff in 30 minutes, but I don't think you guys have 30 minutes worth of questions. But let's jump into it, Steve. So any additional questions, guys, go ahead and pop them in the question box now. Steve and I are going to start knocking out questions, and you got us for the next 25 minutes about.
All right, let's do it. Trevor here is wondering, how long do I have access to the training materials? Is there anything about this offer that expires?
Yeah, Trevor, I felt like I really went over that. So yeah, like I said, you're getting unlimited lifetime access to every single thing I mentioned that you get unlimited lifetime access to. So, you're talking the coaching, the course, it's a little bit more complicated than that. Like I said in the presentation, there's 2x updates per year. You're getting constant access to the updates, lifetime access to everything. So yeah, Trevor, if there's any additional questions about that, feel free to let me know. But I think that got pretty, I don't know how much more we could have covered that.
All right, thank you, Will. And let's see, feel free to drop in some more questions, guys. I only see a couple here, but I know that as soon as I mention that, you guys will start dropping them in. And we had a few people asking specifically about how they can actually get the product branded. They're wondering, is that something that the supplier takes care of or that they'll have to do stateside?
Yeah, the actual private label aspect of this is probably one of the easiest aspects. So that's why I don't really mention it too much. It is literally one of the simplest things. For whatever reason, I can't get into my Gmail account right now. So I was going to actually go through and show you a conversation between me and a supplier to show you how easy it is to private label something. But yeah, let me see if I can log into my email. Steve, let's go for a different question here, and I'll try to get into my email and show off this thing.
Yeah, absolutely. While you're looking that up, I hear Rashida is asking, how much do I need to invest to get started? I'm unlimited funds. In general, between $300 to $500 for your first product. Now, even if you have thousands of dollars, we really recommend starting small with a 10 to 50 unit order, because it's one of the main mistakes we've seen time and time again. We have people who email us before they see this presentation, where a supplier had pretty much talked them into ordering 1,000 or 2,000 units of a product they've never even sold before. So that's why we always recommend, putting the minimal amount of resources into validating a product first before you place a larger order like that. So is a few $100s, but your first product launch should most certainly be under $1,000. And I hope that helps, Rashida.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, private labeling, guys, is literally the easiest part of this process. Now, what matters more is like what modifications you're making and when. Bring that window back up. So like what matters more is what modifications are you making and when, and we focus a lot more on that in the program, because the actual process of private labeling itself is extremely simple. So here's a conversation I have with the supplier where I private labeled, and I just want to show you guys how simple this stuff is. Like I think people really overthink how difficult these things are. So here's how you private label. For the sample order of 30 black steel box business card holders, and again, I'm always going to send pictures of the product. So I had already talked to the supplier on Alibaba with the little chat feature, and I wanted to reiterate what we were saying in the chat. So I said, hey, this is regarding the sample order we talked about for 30 black steel box business card holders. I then attached a picture of the product from their catalog because I didn't want to allow any type of language barrier or anything like that. So I included a picture. I said the shipping address for this is Hyatt Regency Hong Kong. I was staying in Hong Kong at the time, so I was getting this shipped to my hotel in Hong Kong. Excuse me. I will send the PayPal payment now. So literally sending the money over PayPal. Sorry, guys, my voice is just killing me. And then, as you can see here, I attached a logo as well. So for this thing, I wanted this to be printed on the business card holder. And this was actually for our sourcing summit trip. So like I said, we take anywhere from 30 to 50 clients to China twice a year. So this was one of the first times we did it. It used to be called the Import Empire China Excursion rather than Sourcing Summit. So because it was Import Empire, I thought it'd be cool if we had the Death Star here and everything. So made a quick little logo and sent it over. And I think I made this logo in like some logo generator tool I Googled, right? So literally just said, hey, here's the product I want. Here's the logo I want on it. Here's some money, and here's where to send it. And that's literally the conversation. You can see I accidentally sent her the wrong address. So I sent her the correct hotel. And then that's literally it. Okay, I'll use your new address. And then days later said, oh, it's been shipped. Here's your tracking number. Have fun, basically. And then I got it. And then a few days later said, hey, did you get them? I never responded. I've never talked to the supplier since. So like that's private labeling. It's probably the easiest part of this business. So anyone that tries to tell you that private labeling is difficult, I don't know, hasn't done it maybe? I don't know.
Okay, cool. Thanks for going through that, Will. If you need any follow-up guides, as always, drop some more questions in the box. I have a couple here marked, and after that, I guess we'll wrap up. But feel free, drop in the last ones while you have us on the line. Now, Carmina's wondering, Will, what's the most cost-effective way to ship a product of, say, 50 pieces to the Amazon warehouse? Is it by sea or by air? What do I do?
So this is a slightly bigger question than I think Carmina realizes, but I'll try to answer it simply. So you're going to be doing air freight and air express almost exclusively for, say, the first 3 months of your business. You're not going to be doing sea freight for quite some time. So in general, you're not even going to touch sea freight until you've sold quite a bit of product and have quite a bit of money in the bank. So yeah, I'm not answering your question directly here because I think there's a misunderstanding in it. Again, you're not going to do sea shipment for a long time. You're going to want to stick to air shipments until you are really pushing some decent volume, like, at least 100, 200 units a month on one product. At that point, you can start to look at sea shipment to expand your margins. But yeah, hopefully that answers it, Carmina. And feel free, if you have more confusion about that, feel free to ask.
Great. Katina here is saying, Will, you need a cup of hot water, lemon, and some honey for your voice.
Yeah, well, like I said at the beginning, most of the time when we offer people to do the vote between a live presentation and a coaching session, almost every single time people go for the coaching session. So my voice was not properly warmed up for this, but hopefully you guys really enjoyed it. I think it was a great session.
Well, from what I see here in the question box, people are absolutely loving it. Thanks for your concern, Katina. That's sweet of you. Now, the next one I have marked here is from Kiddists asking, is it too soon for a beginner or newbie seller to start using Shopify for their business while testing a product on Amazon? What are your thoughts?
It just seems like bad prioritization to me. Like why do both? I just don't see the reason for doing both. So I have a Shopify store, obviously. The reason this works is because I have thousands and thousands and thousands of customers, and I have thousands of customers' phone numbers, and I have 10 plus employees all day, every day, calling those customers and driving them to my store. Yeah, and someone said, what is Shopify? Shopify, you can think about Shopify as just your own e-commerce store. So instead of selling on Amazon, you could sell on your own Amazon, your own e-commerce store. I'm going to really quickly list off a couple things that you have to deal with when you have your own Shopify store that you don't have to deal with on Amazon. Conversion rate optimization, web hosting, speed, the actual load times and everything. How is responsive design, designing images at all, huge amounts of product photography, custom logos. Like you're talking about an entirely different business. So should you do Amazon and Shopify at the same time? I think if you already have a product line that's selling, at least $1 million a year, and you have at least a few thousand recurring clients, then I think you can do a Shopify store because you can actually drive your clients to the store to buy things. Why the hell would anyone go to your Shopify store? That's like the ultimate question you need to answer. Why the hell is anyone going to go to your Shopify store? And most Shopify store owners never answer that question. They typically just waste tons of money on Facebook ads and stuff. And someone said, "Do you ship out the stock yourself from Shopify?" Yeah, there's no fulfillment included with Shopify. Shopify is a software platform, so like we sell in Shopify, we have a warehouse in Largo. We have just a huge warehouse in Largo that holds all of this stuff, right? So yeah, we have to ship everything out ourselves because we have our own Shopify store. We do $11.5 million a year in revenue, and only about 1.5 million of that comes from Amazon. Again, like my business is a little bit different. When you're first starting out, you should not be worried about customer acquisition or load times or conversion optimization. There are thousands of things that Amazon is doing for you to incentivize you to sell on their platform. So that's why we do it. We don't have any customers. When you're first starting in business, you don't have any customers. You need to go to someone like Amazon who's willing to give you their customers in exchange for you having the product to sell them. Amazon doesn't want to go out and buy inventory, but they have customers. You don't have customers, but you have inventory and products. So that's the partnership ultimately with Amazon. I think Amazon's a great place to launch and develop businesses. Take them out to Shopify after they're done. Like, what are you going to do? Have one product on Amazon and then one product on your Shopify store? It's just the definition of spreading yourself too thin, and that's a great way to accomplish nothing, is setting out to do all of that.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Will. And yeah, I'm not sure if you mentioned it too, but the cost to drive traffic to an Amazon listing is far more cost effective than trying to drive traffic to your own website. So definitely, Amazon's a great place to piggyback, get those customers, and then later on, like Will said, Shopify is a great platform, but get those customers first. And we have a thank you for this in the question box. All I see is star for your name. I don't see the name there, but glad we could help. I have one last question here from Trevor, and I think we'll wrap up. This one is, being that I live in Canada, would it make sense to start selling in my own country, or would it be better to dive into the US market?
I'm sorry, where were they from?
Oh, it's Trevor's from Canada.
Yeah, you should absolutely sell in the US. You should not even touch Canada. Canada is a very tough e-commerce market. In terms of kind of the order of what you should be hitting, you're pretty much only going to hit the EU and the US. Amazon Canada is not doing well. I think there's a possibility it starts doing well soon. But like Canada's got a lot of issues in that it's got a lot of issues with its customs and shipping. Your guys' duties and taxes are just out of control. So like we sell into Canada, we had to actually build or buy a warehouse in Canada, and we have to ship our products directly from the supplier into Canada, because obviously if we shipped it to our warehouse in the US and then to Canada, we would get hit with Canadian duties and US duties. So you got to pick one of those two. And, if you go into the program and just search this too, I mean, there's probably 700 to 1,000 somewhere in there, successful Canadian sellers on here. Almost every single one of them either started in America or is just selling in America. And you can see people literally just still asking this, right? And getting huge replies. Like I'll tell you right now, EJ Ball does, I think, $3 million a year. He's from Canada. Steve Walsh, which is in here, he runs one of the largest home goods sites in Canada. So he's a huge Canadian seller as well. So you have two of the probably biggest Amazon sellers from Canada, period, in here recommending that the U.S. is where you should go first. So I definitely think the U.S. is where you want to focus your efforts on.
Yeah, it says star here, the two asterisks. Sorry, we don't have your name. Feel free to drop it in, but they're saying, yeah, I'm from Canada too. Is it hard to ship from my house to the US warehouse?
No, not at all. Is it hard to ship from my house to the US warehouse? You're probably not going to want to ship to your house. You're just going to want to ship your product directly from the supplier into the US. You never want your product to go over more than one border, because each border it goes over, it's going to get imported again, right? All importing means is that it's going through some country's customs, right? So you can only have your product go from the origin country to the destination country, nowhere between. If you did, you would not even be close to competitive in terms of pricing.
Awesome. Thanks for clearing that up. And well, guys, that was the last question that I have marked here. Let me look over this again. I think we've got them all knocked out. I already did the last call for questions, so I think that's it, unless there's anything you want to add, Will.
Nope, that is pretty much it. Someone said they sent me a friend request. I'm looking for your friend request. I am topped out on friend requests, so I wish there was some way for me to actually search friend requests, because I constantly end up with they limit you now. You're only allowed to have 999 friend requests, so I'm constantly having to go in here and delete a bunch of them. But Peter, I will find you in this hundreds of friend requests, and I will add you, my friend. I do add people still, but you can see like I have all these people that I don't know. So yeah, like if you tell me that you want to be my Facebook friend, then we can be Facebook friends. But I tried to avoid a lot of these people that are just randomly sending them. So cool. Yeah, I see a couple more questions came in, so we'll knock these out real quick. And we are 11 minutes away from our hard cutoff time, so we will wrap this up in just a minute here. I do have a bunch. I'm just showing you guys a couple different like testimonials and stuff on the screen. They're not even testimonials, but people in our group always love to post the results, right, and show off what they're doing and get advice from other people on what they can improve and things like that. So I have some really interesting ones here. You know, most of these people that I'm showing you are making over $1 million per year right now on Amazon. So some interesting things there. But let's see what other questions we have. Star said, "My name is Mike. Good to know." Yeah, good stuff. He said, "What I meant was, since I have to ship samples here first and then to the US." Yeah, if you're in Canada, there's a couple different ways you can do it, right? You can just ship your samples, you can ship to yourself and sell those in Canada, right? I can get 5 to 10 samples in Canada, sell those 5 to 10 samples, you know, to friends and family and things like that, see that they like them, and have that be my validation. That's perfectly fine. In the sample stage, we're really just checking quality, right? We want to make sure that the quality of these goods is good enough before we go out and, you know, increase our risk on it by buying more inventory. So perfectly fine to sell those first samples in Canada. Now, big sellers don't sell their samples, right? The whole selling the samples thing is an extra security check you can do when you're first starting out. But when you're a big seller, you're probably not going to get samples at all. When you're a big seller, you're either going to get some samples and check off on it and ship those suckers straight into the US, or there's a couple different ways you can do it. But when you're first starting out, I think it's really smart to sell your samples, especially if you still feel uncomfortable about it before placing a bigger order. Well, sell some samples, make some money, get some confidence, and from there, you know, in the future, you're probably going to do something different with your samples. So, sorry guys, my voice just killing me.
We'll have to get you that hot water, lemon, and honey right after this, buddy. Cool. Well, I see we have two more. Sarah, Peter also wants to know, where are you from in Chicago, Will?
Chicago, I am from Orland Park. Peter, yeah, it's a southwest suburbs. So I still go back here like 3 times a year, but I'm not happy about it. I go back 3 times a year and pretty much do a quick campaign on why everybody needs to move to Florida. So I got 2 family members moving to Florida in the next few years. So slowly but surely, I'm bringing them all south. Yeah, Chicago's great. I grew up there and everything. It as you probably know, Peter, it's kind of a wreck right now. So Peter said he's from Palos Hills. I literally lived in Palos Hills. So that whole time I was on public aid and everything, I was at an apartment complex. I wish I remember the streets, but there's an apartment complex by a McDonald's off of like LaGrange or something. But yeah, I was actually in Palos Hills, and then my grandparents were in Orland Park, so I was pretty much back and forth between Palos Hills and Orland Park every day for the first 10 years of my life. But then we went to Florida, and Peter, hopefully we'll see you down here soon, because holy cow, like every time I go back to Chicago, it is just, I know it doesn't get colder every time, but it sure feels like it. It's a rough place to live.
For more than one reason. Cool. All right. And also we have, yeah, Peter says, no way, I lived there since 2000 till 2009. Small world,
Yeah,
buddy.
you got out of there too. Good move. I thought you still lived there, so I was making sure not to be too harsh about it. But yeah, Chicago's a tough city, man. It's a tough city. I think Tampa's a much lower stress and easier place to live. Yeah, he lives in the UK as well, so yeah,
Oh,
it sounds like you're a bit happier out there too. But it's a good place to live for a few years.
nice. All right. Now, how about Sarah here? She's wondering, so I live in China. Should I sell my samples here in China or aim for a Western market?
All right. Sarah said, "Should I sell my shambles?" Yeah. So if you're in China, it's a little funky. So let's take it even further than that. How would I do this if I lived in like Antarctica or something, right? So you can just sell the samples yourself, Sarah, but I would feel more comfortable getting those samples in the hands of, geographically similar customers and culturally similar customers. So I'd feel more comfortable selling those things in the US. And but the thing is, Sarah, like in your situation, just in our program, we take a lot of time to really take you through the decision making process and why things are the way they are, because we want to make you guys entrepreneurs. We don't want you guys to just follow a couple steps, right? We want you guys to be able to make these decisions on your own, to develop the gut instinct yourself. So, Sarah, it's just as you get into the program, it's going to talk more deeply about why we do certain things and why we sell 5 to 10 samples and why the second order is the way it is and things like that. So once you get into that, you'll see that the sample selling process is really about decreasing risk for new sellers as they go into the market. So that's really what we're doing there. What would I do if I lived in like, some random place in Africa or something? What I would probably do then is really spend a little bit more time on negotiations. And instead of buying 5 to 10 units, I'd probably buy like 25 to 50 units. And I'd get those 50 units into somewhere in the US. There's tons of places that'll fulfill product for you, but get those things into a warehouse and then sell those things online in the US and have your warehouse ship them out to customers. Not only is your warehouse going to check the quality for you, they'll take pictures and all this stuff, but then you can sell the product in the US and see what's going to happen before you go out and put a large order in. So that's what I would do. Sarah said, can Amazon US sell my samples? You can use Amazon to sell your samples, yes. You can use eBay, you can use Reddit, you can use Facebook groups. Really, like the first batch of products, I'm not even really trying to make much money on. I'm just trying to get those things into the hands of customers and see how they react so I can have more confidence in my future decisions with this product, right? So Sarah, hopefully that answered it for you. And yeah, if you have any further questions, go ahead and let me know. I think we have another 4 minutes here, so feel free to throw in another question.
Great. She says it did. Thank you so much. I'm glad to help, Sarah. You even got the smiley face. All right. Cool. Now, very nice. Yeah, how'd you get that emoji in there? Must have copy and pasted that.
You must be on mobile or something. Yeah.
Something.
Rocking the emojis.
All right. Now, Peter up next was wondering, or was that Peter? I marked. Yes, Peter wants to know how long usually does it take to get the products from China to the US? Do you need to use some extra shipping, or how's that work?
Um, Let me see. How long does it take to get products from China to the US? Usually, so your Air Express shipments, like your samples and stuff, those are actually only going to take 5 to 10 days. Most people think that shipping from China takes weeks and weeks and weeks. For Air Express, it's 5 to 7 days on average, 10 days at the worst. And then as you get into cheaper shipment options like air freight's going to take a little bit longer than Air Express. Sea freight's going to take longer than both. So it's kind of a similar to like a risk reward matrix, right? It's very similar with shipments. Like the slower the shipment is, the cheaper it's going to be. The quicker it is, the more expensive it's going to be. But most sellers, I'll tell you what, guys, most sellers care about turnover rate more than shipping time. Most sellers are perfectly fine paying a little bit more for shipping because that means they can turn that investment back into cash and profit and then reinvest it again. So most sellers are doing Air Express, and they just use Sea Express for their really big sellers. Most sellers are using mostly Air Express and Air Freight.
All right. Well, thanks for clearing that up, Will. That's awesome. And if I'm correct, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that was the last question we had in here, guys. So I would do a final call, but it is 59 after, and we're pushing right up against the hour.
Right up against it. Perfect timing. Perfect timing for everyone here. Guys, you do have any additional questions, obviously, you know how to get in touch with us. There's a couple ways to do it. You got our phone number, our email, as well as the chat box at startupbros.com/empire. Any one of those is a great way to get in touch with us. This is actually the quickest way, this little live chat box, and feel free to jump in. Congratulations to all of our new members, by the way. We got Ira, Joseph again. We got Randy, Samara, Braxton, Misty, Akili, Kayla. So welcome, guys. Thanks a lot for jumping up to the next level, making that investment in yourself and your business. And thanks a lot for the vote of confidence as well. I think you guys are going to be absolutely blown away. Guys, I am 100% confident that this is not only the best training program out there for e-commerce and Amazon, I'm pretty sure this is the best training program out there, period. I have put like hundreds of hours into this thing. The videos are so much better. The information is so much better than anything else you're going to find out there. I think you guys are going to be absolutely blown away by not only how comprehensive this is, but also how quick you can go through it. Again, we've made this so you can take action, not so you can learn, but so you can take action and understand the actions you're taking and why you're taking them, right? All leading up to that, 90-day launch plan, getting a nice little, 2 to 3 products selling in that 90-day period, sustainable cash flow. That's what it's all about. So guys, I look forward to taking that journey with you. You got all the information you need here. Keep in mind the Live 50 coupon code is going to be active until Friday at midnight. So you guys basically have the rest of this week. If you do have additional questions, you got to ask your wife, whatever it is. You got a few days to make that happen. For those of you who are already in, I will see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. Guys, the call tomorrow, to give you guys an idea, I'm very excited for our call tomorrow. So tomorrow we have one of the weekly training calls that you guys are getting access to with the Live 50 offer today. The people we have on tomorrow are actually the people who run all of the advertising for Purple Mattress. These two guys have done over $100 million of ad spend in the last 2 years on Purple Mattress, and they're actually coming in to show us how we can do video marketing for e-commerce products. So this is the type of people you're going to be hanging out with in this program. Literally, the guys running everything for Purple Mattress, they're coming in and literally opening up the books and showing us exactly how they run all the video advertising for Purple Mattresses. And then they're going to give us a lot of recommendations for how we can apply that to our businesses. So that is the quality of these weekly training calls. So guys, if you're planning on getting in here, get in before tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, because this is not a call you want to miss. You'll never be able to talk to these guys again. I mean, this is high level stuff. So not only are you going to get training from those two guys, but you're also going to be able to ask them questions for hours on end. So make sure you are on that. That's tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. And guys, that's a wrap. That's all I got for you here today. So I'm gonna hop off here and start resting my voice. And someone said they're giving me some lemon drops and honey or something, so I'll start looking for those. Guys, I'll see you on the other side. Make sure you jump in and say hi in the Facebook group once you jump in this community. We want to get to know you guys. It's a very tight-knit community and a very intimate community, so make sure you introduce yourself, say hi and everything. Jump into the program and actually start taking action, actually start going through the materials. And that's it. My voice is really giving me trouble, so I'm going to wrap things up here. Guys, I will see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern for our first coaching call together. And even if you go out tonight and you do not buy this program, go build a business for yourself at least. I think every person here would agree that this is one of the best webinars you've ever seen. I didn't leave anything out. There was no oh, you guys just have to pay me for more information. I gave you everything. So go out there and put it to good use. Guys, to be an entrepreneur, you have to be a producer. What did we just do for 3 hours? We consumed. So you now need to stop consuming and start producing. You need to go create transformative results out of the information you've learned here today. Thousands of people are doing it, so I promise you, you can too. All you have to do is make that decision to go out there and make it happen. Don't second guess yourself. Don't overthink it. Just get out there, make it happen, sell products. And that's how you do it. All right, guys, I'm going to stop ranting now. Again, Live 50 coupon code is going to be live until Friday at midnight. So if you have any additional questions for Steve or I, feel free to reach out. You got the chat box, the phone numbers, the emails, all that good stuff. And guys, I will see you on the other side tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern with the Purple Mattress guys. Really looking forward to that session myself. I think it's one you definitely don't want to miss. So I will see you guys tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. And let me know if you have any other questions before that. All right, guys. Much love to you all. Thanks a lot for being here. And I will see you guys tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. Goodbye.